And we're live, ladies and gentlemen. We got an old guest back, Ray Colheo, Montreal activist, and today we're going to talk about the benefits. We touched on it last stream, but we're going to talk about the benefits of
Yeah, you know
let's
what?
say a celibate lifestyle. Is that fair?
Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna be very brief on it because uh, I took some notes actually from the last what do you call it? You know, conversation we had,
Hmm.
and I just wanted to mention things. I mean, the viewers can go back and see that video, but the main benefits is example like uh, where I was coming from that in that video. Give me a second. I'm just trying to. It's kind of late and I had a long day, so
Hmm.
basically in that video I was talking about how you know wet dreams are a problem. Obviously, if you're abstaining and you're trying to because people abstain because they want clarity, they want vision, they don't want brain fog, they want confidence, they want to feel invincible. Obviously, if you get a nocturnal emission, you're gonna it's gonna give you all that, but you will be back in 24 to 48 hours, because that's usually how long it takes for your mind. Because after you get a nocturnal emission, what dream, whatever, you'll have tension. Well, you'll have stress and tension. I mean, you'll have that. You'll feel the sensation. I feel that, like headaches, basically,
Hmm.
and you'll feel shitty. You know, like depending on how intense that nocturnal emission is. I mean, there's times when I get like three in a night or something. But there's times when I just get one, and there's times when it feels like it was half. Whatever the case, I mean, it will have a impact on your level of confidence. Today, I'm at the 6th day since the last one, so I feel invincible. And then before that, we're talking about priming myself with like 40 years of celibacy and 10 years of nofap. I mean, so that's pretty crazy. So there's a lot of priming there. It's kind of like priming your your snowblower, and it seems like I may have to prime the snowblower because it's coming down.
Oh shit!
But where was it going with that? I definitely think, and this is what we were talking about
Are you
before.
stuck in the middle of the snowstorm right now?
No, I'm actually just I'm sitting in my car
Okay.
because I got family members in the house, sleeping, and I didn't want to make any noise.
Okay.
Um, so this is my car here. So what was I gonna say? I also notice when I have conversations in my car away from my house, I'm like, there's a different mindset, a different vibe. I guess when you're at home, you're more comfortable and it's a different mindset there. Back to what I was saying with the wet dreams. I think there's definitely something there to recognizing. This is what we are talking about before. Recognizing that what nocturnal emissions, whatever, are trying to control or avoid them. Like how do you avoid them? I don't. I mean, so I think there's definitely something there in realizing that they're negative towards your confidence levels, and avoiding brain fog, whatever, because there were machines, like I was saying to you before, there were machines, and it's kind of weird we have this conversation. Me and you, the second time we're having this conversation, I was trying to get a third person in here. That way, it kind of reduces the the it just makes it cooler when there's like five people talking about this and like two
Okay.
people. Yeah, but anyways, why it's been recognized already because there's patents. Anybody can go online and look up patents. There are literally devices and machines out there that would people would wear back in the industrial revolution in England, places like in the United States, and I'm sure it existed in other countries as well, because when I'm doing my searches, I'm doing it in English, and I'm sure just things historically from English would just make it to the internet, than something in some random place in Japan or whatever, or in China. Men realize that, I guess during the Industrial Revolution, you're actually building like machines with no. Imagine trying to build a car motor, gears, and all that without the aid of computers. Basically, the reason they wanted to, from what I understand, is I'm reading between the lines, and I see it. I'm also seeing it with myself. The reason I don't want the nocturnal emissions, the reason they wouldn't want it, is because you want an uninterrupted train of thought that continues. I mean, not only You know, when you're sitting down and reading a book, you know, you'd want an uninterrupted train of thought to get through this book. But what if like it takes like I don't know, this is the Holy Bible here. Actually, tell you about this in a minute. But you know, what if this book takes like I don't know 20 days to read? You know, wouldn't you want an uninterrupted train of thought? Or what if you need to build a car engine? You know, so you can't do it in one day. So you need an uninterrupted train of thought. So, so this is why they wanted to, what do you call it? Because you know when they wanted to, have that mindset last days on end, weeks on end, months on end. Uh, uh, where was it going with that? So I guess they opted to having machines that would stop them from having emissions at night, whatever. Which is a good idea. I mean, I tried it myself, and there's different ways. I mean, I guess anybody watching this, how would you want to stop a wet dream or whatever? I mean, there's different ways. I mean, staying as busy as possible, staying as active as possible. I've said this in the other video there. Anybody could go back and go see that. Having not going to bed angry, not going to bed with too much food in you, not going to bed with too much water in you. I've noticed, as crazy as it sounds, sometimes it actually it's crazy how the mind works. Sometimes I'll be sleeping on my wrist or something, and I'll wake up and I'm like, oh wow, I had a dream. But I'll notice my wrist is really sore, like or it hurts, or my
Hmm.
arm or neck. I guess your body's like, I guess if you're sleeping in a position that is painful, your body will actually wake you up so you don't hurt yourself at night. It's pretty crazy how the mind works. As crazy as that sounds, the mind is an amazing thing if it's able to do
Well,
stuff like that.
sometimes like you'll wake up with like a sleepy foot, like
Yeah, I
your
don't know.
blood
Maybe
flow
I
would,
don't.
yeah.
You talk about like a cramp.
No, just like sometimes like if you're like I don't know, like maybe like your arm, like sometimes your arm will like you'll wake up with like a sleepy arm because there's a
Right.
lack of blood flow in there.
That's it. That's exactly it. So
Yeah,
exactly. So
yeah.
I guess yeah, I've had that before. I guess it's trying to wake you up. So it's
Hmm.
not even necessarily like going to bed angry or something. It's just like you might be injuring yourself as you're sleeping. You know,
Hmm.
if you got too much heat on in the room, I've noticed that too. If you're cranking the heat, it's trying to wake you up and say, "Look, there's a lot of heat." I'm like, "Wow, this room is boiling." So yeah, there's different ways there's different ways about how the mind works when you're sleeping. Uh, I mean, also, I mean, I was reading about this. This dude was talking about this, and he was basically saying like, I slept with a chastity belt or whatever. He slept. Basically, he got one when he was flaccid. So as crazy as it sounds, it basically says it's not all physical; it's all in your mind. So I don't think you could ever prevent it. I don't think it's like a car engine. It's like a car engine has a PVC valve or PCV valve. It's like when there's too much like engine pressure in the engine, it will just like release it with this valve. So I mean, I guess your body and mind has those mechanisms. This is all pretty interesting stuff because I mean, some people might find this conversation weird. I find this interesting in regards to psychology and biology and all that stuff because I don't think I've never heard anybody talk about these things. I've never, especially in the whole realm about like no fap and whatever else. So
Well, you can
people,
extend that to like the pursuit of women as well, like the modern pursuit of women and how much work it takes to how much mental acuity it takes to understand women's psychology.
yeah.
Um,
I guess anybody
and then
watching this and wanted like going
yeah,
into for anybody going into uh, you know uh, discipline and self help just to get women, I'll tell you something like the less energy and time you put into women, it's like women want what they can't get. So it's like, well, I mean, that's a generalized statement, but anyways, I mean, the less you put time into it, I mean, the more the less you notice them, the more they notice you. I don't know. I mean,
uh,
I just think it just
well, that's the
happens.
thing is you still have to approach them. You still like they're not going to approach you, right?
Listen,
So
man.
that's
I
that's
mean,
the that's the catch 22 situation, right? And
yeah.
so like you
I
know,
guess
I,
I,
I
I
I
guess
just I just think like there's a
I
lot
guess
of men
put
in
it
the
that way.
modern world
If you're chasing
that's
it, you're not
yeah
gonna get it. It's kind of like if you leave your house and you're like, I'm gonna try to make this much money this year. If you just leave your house and you're like, okay, I'm gonna have a good day today. I'm gonna give my best. I'm gonna be a good person. I'm just gonna do what I gotta do. I think things come your direction, your way if you're just like
Yeah.
sincere. Yeah, I don't ask for it. There's just some things you can't ask for in life, and like your dream girl, stuff like that, dream women, whatever. I mean, if you're going out there just looking to get it, I mean, I think it's a shallow endeavor, So that's something I think it's immature to go out there and say, "Today I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna try to get." It's like the expression, guys who go out there, guys who go out specifically, like guys who go out to like clubs and bars and stuff specifically to get it. They don't get it. I mean, it's really like the guys who go out there with their friends and they're having a good time. They meet somebody, it turns into a relationship, that sort of thing. So I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
you can't like ask for some things. It just comes your way naturally. Just have
Yeah.
like, yeah. So that's basically it. Going in circles on that one. So with priming yourself with discipline and abstaining, I mean, I'm telling you, like, that there's numerous benefits. I just wanted to put this one out there. So long-term abstaining and just living healthy, especially long-term abstaining in a sexual way, more testosterone. You could put on muscle faster, and this is something I forgot to mention in the other video. So we were talking about peak testosterone. So I'm on, like, peak testosterone is basically when you're abstaining sexually, and I guess it's like basically the days that peak before getting a wet dream, whatever. I mean, you will feel invincible, obviously, on those days. Obviously, the days that come before nocturnal emission, and you can do whatever you want during those days. So those are the moments where you should make the most out of life with it. We're talking, you know, pursuing your dream job. Like, and those are the days when you have so much energy. You can gamble with it. Like, you can go out and pretty much do anything. And I mean, as a student, I just like save those. I kind of write my essays and stuff, or whatever. Put the energy in the essays. Or if honestly, if you're working out and you go to the gym on peak testosterone, I'm telling you, you will have the best workout of your life. And that's something forgot to mention in the other video. I mean, you will feel like, wow. Like, there's times when I've been in the gym, I could stay in the gym for like 2 hours at a time, and I mean, it's funny how, and then people ask, like, part of like what can provoke the nocturnal emissions. Also, if you're working out a lot but not eating enough to recover. So if you're like really sore and you don't eat enough like protein to recover, your
Hmm.
body will be like, okay, it will give you the nocturnal emission. Say, like, I did, like, I don't know, biceps. My biceps hurt a lot, and I didn't eat enough protein to like recover it. Where I have like multiple body parts, chest, legs, abs, whatever, that are sore, and my body's like, oh, this guy he's not eating enough. He worked out those parts 3 days ago, and you still haven't eaten enough to recover. Then it's gonna actually give you a nocturnal emission, and it will cut the soreness. It will. I never heard anybody say that before, and it's just something I've noticed. And I want to be and some people are like, "Ah, you're gross, you're perverted, whatever," saying these things putting it out there for everybody here. First off, I don't. There's nothing perverted or gross here, and it's just like I said, it's biology, psychology. It's curious things people have on their minds, and we're just talking. Freedom of expression, freedom of speech. Uh, and some people don't want people to know about this because they want to keep people down. I definitely feel that there's active powers in society that don't want people to know about this stuff for political reasons, but also for commercial reasons. Because imagine if a gym trainer or someone selling steroids, for instance, is like, just abstain for 7 days and your testosterone will go up 50%. Abstain for 9 months and your testosterone will go up 200%. What do I owe you? You don't owe me anything. So, there's no money behind that. There's no money behind. I mean, there's a whole intrigue and a whole business behind selling guys creatine, protein. All you need to get really big is discipline, and that means sexual abstinence and sleep. The sexual abstinence is your steroids. The sleep is your recovery, and protein. And you have to eat a lot of protein, a lot of protein. I'm telling you. I'll be honest with you. I as a student, going back recently, whatever. I mean, I'm on a budget, and I just can't afford, $50, $40 of food a day, you know, I'm, I'm getting by with like 20, 25 a day, sometimes 30, 40, 50, 60. I mean, I really can't do that, you know? Uh, and that's what you need to get really big quick. You need that kind of food. I'm talking like, you know, steaks and, you know, what do you call it? You know, I'm talking quality food too. I mean, anybody can just go like to McDonald's and, you know, work out and go to McDonald's. I mean, we're talking like lean meats and stuff that won't get you fat at the same time because remember, it's a threshold. It's like you're trying to when you have this energy, you're trying to like meet these thresholds. You know, we're trying to get as big as possible, with as little time put into it as possible, get as lean as possible. So it's like you're trying to get perfection within these parameters. And it's something else, like I was saying before. I mentioned this in the other video. I don't care about materialism. I'm not a materialistic guy. I don't care about, you know, brand names and looking good. I do care about this. I mean, when you I don't care about brand names and materialism. But when you're abstaining or whatever, the gears are turning, and you will try to look as good as possible. Well, at least with me, I'm trying to look as good as possible for as little as possible. So it's like some people brag about how much they spend on things. I'll brag about how little I spend on things, and it's kind of like a slap in the face to people who spend all kinds of money on stuff. You know, I'm looking good. I get by. You know, it looks good from a distance. I get by, happy with how I look. You know, but it's like with me, I'll go to like warehouses and stuff, and I'll get shirts for like 5, 6, 7, 8 bucks. You know, just try to look as good as possible for as little as possible. So, where was it going with that? I'm
There's
definitely not
there's some
materials.
good stuff in Value Village. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you could go to Valley Village, and if you're really patient, which the discipline and the abstinence will make you patient. I literally walk in the store, and I'll spend like an hour, 2 hours just going through the racks, and you will actually find things with the tags on them, like new stuff. So I mean, if you
Mhm.
go to a thrift store, you can actually find new stuff there. I mean, if you go on Marketplace and the classifieds, I mean, you can find new stuff there too with the tags on them as well, and you can negotiate on it. It's like, when was the last time you'd be able to walk into like a Winners or something and negotiate? And you can go to Winners and go through like, I mean, I don't want to go into the specifics of the stores I shop at, but yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna give any of these companies advertisement, you know. But you can walk into Winners and actually go through their liquidation sections, and they're like their clearance aisles or whatever, uh, racks, and you can find stuff. You can find shirts for like 5, 7 bucks, you know. So I
Mhm.
found that before. So I'm trying to. With me, it's like I wouldn't buy a shirt or a top over 10 bucks. And some people are like, that's crazy. How do you do it? And it's just patience. It's like anything else. How do you do it? Patience. So,
Mhm.
you know, some people will go out and they're like, oh, I'm not. If I'll go out and I'm like, okay, I want to buy a shirt, and it's like I'll go through a bunch of places, and you know, if I don't find like it fitting the financial criteria I set out, it's I won't buy anything, you know. But again, it's time too. So I mean, if you want to find, when you go to like a Winners or a thrift store, I mean, you might have something in mind, but it won't be there. So I mean, it's just better to just go on like the classifieds, and you know, you can negotiate whatever and see how it is. Where was it going with that? So yeah, benefits of abstinence, especially sexual abstinence. You could put on muscle faster. You could keep it on longer. Man, I haven't been to the gym in like a year at least, or months, and I still have a lot of like my frame and my, you know, I can go over there now and probably bench a plate, no problem, you know. So I, you know, I for summer I want to get back into shape for summer, or not back into shape, just more bigger, and I can look better in a sleeveless shirt. So I may go back soon. I mean, I thought winter was almost over, but we're still getting it. Uh, but yeah, so that's basically it. So you can put on muscle faster, keep it on longer. It's even good for your hair. See, hair. I think hair loss is connected to this. You know, so every time you release, actually, your body, what do you call it? Clears. It's organs of the hormones, and hormones come out, and the hormones are actually lighter than blood, so we'll go to your follicle, your hair follicle, and it
Mhm.
will the hormone will go around the hair follicle. And if you're looking to see how the hormone looks like when it's there, When it surfaces, it hardens because I guess something in the oxygen makes it harden, and it will actually like kill the follicle from its essential nutrients, whatever bloodstream, whatever, and the follicle will drop with the amber. The most of these hormones look like they look like amber. They're like a gold seed. Hair would drop with a gold seed, and I mean this is just from experience and talking to other people about it, and I've talking to some like medical experts about this stuff, and they realized it too. And then you'll have your the hole for a hair follicle, and then the hormone will go in there, expand. It's going to the highest point of the body because it's lighter in blood, so it's going up. So it's going to go to hair. It might even go to your back, and it's hormonal. We're talking about hormonal stuff. Just like if you were to shoot steroids, it's kind of in the same place because there are people who abuse steroids. We talked about steroids the other in the other video. Steroids will give you back acne, and it can also give you acne on your forehead, and make you lose hair. So that's what happens. But I think in the end, I think I've said everything I wanted to that I haven't on some of those subjects from the last video. I'm just thinking about what I missed. So the two takeaways is basically there's definitely something there to abstaining because people like Freud and Gandhi incorporated that in their lifestyle. A lot of great people, you could type in like, the greats, I forget what the key words are to that, but there's threads about that, great people using abstinence and discipline to advance their careers and their lives, and it definitely makes you like I said, makes you invincible, powerful, whatever else. And yeah, I guess some people don't like me for saying this stuff. I mean, the cat's out of the bag. There's definitely like a lot of people that are like, oh, don't say this stuff, like you're taking the intrigue away from it. No, I'm saying this stuff because I mean I've cured myself about in regards to all these vices. I mean, these vices don't affect me. I don't, as far as I'm concerned, I don't really have any vices actually. Uh, so I guess like I don't have these major. I don't struggle with addiction of any kind.
You're a
And
monk.
yeah, monk
You're
mode. So
going
I
monk
don't.
mode.
So I don't really struggle with an addiction. Like to me, it's just like I'm putting this out there. I mean, if one person sees this video and it helps them, then that's amazing. That's really what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, on my breaks at class, I'll sometimes walk around the university. There's always homeless people wandering around asking for money, doing crazy stuff, and I'll talk to them. I'll be like, like what's your issue in life? Like, what I just want to see if I can help them with my words. So that's basically it. I think the words can help. Words from experience can help. This is what I mean, I actually found the Bible. I was walking out of class today, and I guess someone left it. I mean, maybe they left it intentionally, but there's actually some phone numbers in here and some things to read. This
Hmm.
is the King James version. It's really like we were talking about before. It's a long book, and there's actually like pages that are folded, and I just couldn't just leave it there. I mean, like, maybe this definitely. I mean, it is stone too. If I didn't pick it up, it probably would have gotten wet. Uh, there's how many pages are in this? There is 1,007 pages. So I'm gonna
Hmm.
try to read this book like kind of like in a obviously with a grain of salt. I mean, I'm an atheist, so it is what it
Hmm.
is. Who knows? Maybe it might change me. Maybe I won't be an atheist after reading this. I've never sat down and actually read it. I may read like a page or two a day. Thousand. I mean, I could probably just scan it with Speechify and like listen to it in like. I know 1,000. I mean, especially like how much words. I mean, it probably even if I scanned it with Speechify, like I was saying before. I mean, I scanned a Machiavelli book I'm reading and with Speechify. It's like 380 pages, and it's like that was like 7 hours long.
Hmm.
So I mean, this at 1,000 whatever, it'd probably be like a few days, or maybe 20 or 30 hours to read. So I'll just like
I think if you actually read that, like I find when you actually read it as opposed to going to like a sermon on like at church and a pastor reading it and then the pastor giving you kind of a filtered version of it, you don't really get like the unadulterated like reading when you go to a church when you go to a Bible study.
Yeah,
Because
well,
when I go to the Bible study, when I go to Bible studies, I actually read the whole thing and then I ask questions, and then that's when they get really pissed off at me.
well, there's definitely politics at different churches. I'm sure like
Yeah,
different brands of churches, different sects and
yeah,
sects, like sects, different
sex,
sects, exactly, different
sex.
groups and whatever the case.
Say that 10 times fast. No,
Yeah, there you go. Different flavors of different pastors. I'm sure different people have different agendas, different politics behind it, and they'll cherry pick certain verses and to meet their whatever they're trying to get across. And it may not even be nefarious. It might just be like today we're talking about this subject, and I'll take a verse. So I just
I find so. I did a
I'm just
video
gonna read
after
like
yours.
4 pages a day or 5 pages a day
Yeah,
because there's so much here. I think if I just like
yeah.
speechified it and plowed through it, I wouldn't really like take away. This is something we're learning in class here. It's called like this guy's talking about. He gives out terms, and one of the terms he puts out there is called like close reading, exegesis or something.
Hmm.
Yeah, close reading. So I mean, I don't think I can close read this book. Just plow through it and really like take away. There's just so much. It's so rich in information. There's just so much here.
Yeah.
So a lot of
Is this like if you take out like the Trinitarian doctrine and like the kind of that dogmatic belief of God and God's going to punish you and all this shit, it actually
well,
is
here I'm gonna
very
read this.
deep. And I grew up secular, and I find a lot of value in reading verses such as there's one verse that talks about, I forget if it's in the book of Daniel, but it talks about like how you'll know in the end days when there will be 7 women that want to be impregnated by one man, but they don't want the man to look after any of their children. It does talk about that, and it's like it's a very deep concept when you read about it. Because I've been basically there's a lot of
I'm gonna read this book like
yeah,
as philosophy. I mean,
yeah, no, it's a very deep philosophy. Then you can
I'm
expound
surprised
upon
though.
it.
I'm surprised
It's yeah,
there aren't like university classes that I mean there probably are, but
mm-hmm,
that actually I mean I'm sure there are. I mean I'm saying like I guess maybe I'm wrong, but to
mm-hmm,
actually close read with this book. But I mean I'm sure there
mm-hmm,
probably are like study of the Bible. I
yeah,
haven't taken any of those classes, but I guess they got back surprised that there aren't. But yeah, I'll read this as philosophy. I mean,
yeah.
there's just so
You'll
much.
be
I mean,
more
so much of
educated than the average Christian.
so much of our Western society is like, kind of lives in the shadow of the Bible. A lot of the
Yeah,
laws and stuff. So it'd be
yeah,
interesting. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see like, the context, the greater context of the Bible. And I guess if there is a God, I'm I guess if there is a God, then I guess I'll be saved in that sense too. But I guess we're supposed to, you know, accept this in our heart. I mean, what's the expression like? Do you accept Jesus Christ in your
you
heart?
have eyes to hear and you have eyes to see and ears to hear.
Yeah.
So it's basically like it's a certain mind state.
So I think someone may have actually just left it. It's.
I say sometimes if it helps, do mushrooms and read Proverbs.
I told you, man. I don't do drugs. I don't do
Sorry,
drugs.
not endorsing it, but if someone's having a hard time or whatever,
Okay.
like getting into the Bible, I just say you get into that state, that that kind of dream state, and you start reading it. It'll probably make sense to you.
Well, like I said, I think
But I
it's just
mean, you don't
philosophy.
have to. You don't have to be on drugs, though. I just think it's like I believe it's like a certain like when you go into a room of people, because this happens to me all the time when I'm like in chat rooms or whatever, and it's just like they're just like, John, just shut up, John, just shut up. I'm like, what? I'm articulating my point very clearly and I'm being respectful or whatever, right? And it's just like, what's going on, right? And it's like usually it's like your essence and how you're delivering like can offend people. Because I find in my life I either usually offend people or people like me. And so it's I haven't really found like a
I
happy
don't think I've
medium.
said anything inflammatory in this
No,
conversation.
no, no. It's not. It's not even that. It's just
Trying to
like
be very
I'm just
cognizant about
saying.
what I say and how I say
I'm
it.
just saying like no, no. I'm not talking about you. I'm just talking like in general. Like if you. So I'm just basically I'm trying to tie it into kind of like a it's like a mindset. So you're operating in a different paradigm than those people that walk in the room. So when you walk in the room and you have a different presuppositions than somebody else, that's gonna you to you it's just a normal non-inflammatory conversation, but to them it's very offensive, right? It's offensive to everything that they stand for, and that's why sometimes sometimes you have people that you run into. I don't know if you run into it, but I run into it. It's just like they just can't like stand you. They can't like they can't say anything back to you, right? Like some people can, that's fine, and then they stand strong, but like they don't know what to do, right? Because they haven't dealt with that foundational work. So it's like they're having a sword fight and you come in with a gun. Sorry, I'm not just extreme example, but you know what I mean. So you built that gun through different means where they're going operating totally different with the swords, right? So you
Yeah.
come in with the gun and then everyone's just like, what the fuck's going on, right?
Well, I'll just say
What's
this, man.
that, right?
You can't please everybody. I mean, I sometimes
Yeah.
go to these protests and these different kinds of protests, and there's always people that are, purity spiraling. They're like, we agree on this, but it's like we agree on 95% of things, but they want to make like a big fuss about the 5%. It is what it is. So we're coming up to 31 minutes. I mean, I wanted to keep this actually under an hour. For anybody
Sure.
tuning in, if you wanted to plow, I know we go on. Our last conversation was like 3 hours long.
Yeah.
I was taking notes from that conversation and trying to like skip. When I was taking notes, I put on
Yeah, that's
fast
actually
forward 2 times to
it.
just put it. Yeah.
That video is the highest viewed on my channel.
Well, where's it at right now with views?
I think it's at like 63, and my second one, the one that previously was the highest, was like 58. Where I
You know what?
basically
I mean,
called
I got a
white
Bible
nationalist
here. I mean,
beta cooks.
I might as well try it. I mean, like after I'm done reading this, I might as well like give other, religious text a read. Like the Talmud or the Torah or the
The
Quran.
Quran,
Yeah,
yeah.
it'd be interesting to just read those texts as just philosophy and because I think, I mean, some people add this holy component to that. I think there's a lot
You
of
you
wisdom
know
and a lot
what?
of knowledge.
I don't
So
think you would be surprised by chapter 2 in the Quran. It probably goes against your philosophy a little bit about sexual relations.
yeah, I noticed that. I noticed like when I do talk to some like I looked it up. I did some research about like
Yeah.
how do Muslims feel about like celibacy, and I don't think they like it. But
No,
I
that's
mean,
kind of like a Christian morality kind of, more
but
of a
I'm also
Catholic
like,
Church thing.
well, even the Christians don't like it either. When I tell them like I'm engaging in celibacy to feel invincible and powerful and to be able to take on my enemies and win and
Like,
whatever else, and
yes.
and they're like, oh, you're sinning and it's pride and it's wrath and all this stuff. So, I mean, I guess you can't please everybody. I'm not trying to please them anyways, but I mean, and I talked to some religious people. They're like, oh, I'm like, look, I lived a good life, whatever. And they're like, oh, you're still going to hell because you got to accept Jesus in your heart, whatever. I'm like, look, I
Oh yeah,
probably
yeah,
live better than you, but it is
yeah.
what it is. But
Well,
yeah,
that's
I
the
mean,
thing with religion. It's all about like what team you're on. It's basically like a sports team.
I
It's like
noticed that.
you're
Yeah.
you're not you're not on my team, so you're going to go to hell.
This is
How
why I
is that
tell
any
people I'm like
different than like
I'm
a
just like
football team?
I'm undecided. Like I'm in the middle. I
Yeah,
mean, I don't know if you can be in the middle. I
yeah,
can just tell them like
agnostic. Yeah, I'm yeah.
I'm
I,
agnostic. Exactly. I don't know what's
yeah.
out there. I'm basically like all religions. I wonder if it's like a
Hmm.
sin to like explore different religious like institutions. Like if I go to the mosque
Uh,
and a church and the
no,
temple and whatever else to just check things out and you know take
there
your
is
cues
no
of what.
compulsion in religion. Chapter 2, verse 256 of the Quran.
What's that?
There is no compulsion in religion.
What does that mean?
That's what it says in chapter 2, verse 256. And it
Interesting.
goes on to say, as long as you are spiritual and of the faith, it's basically like a door into agnosticism. Like
Okay.
the Quran is an agnostic book.
Is it? Okay, it's interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Like
That's
you can be like, I hate the term Muslim, but technically you can still be Muslim and agnostic. Like there's like Muslim Bible scholars.
well.
Like
That's what I was
it's a
saying. I
totally
think.
different. It kind of, it's like a synthesis. It's like you have Christianity and you have Judaism, like kind of Judaic like legalism, and then like kind of the belief in Jesus, but as a message, as opposed to like worshiping the messenger, and
Right.
it kind of combines the two basically. That's like Islam.
Interesting. Yeah.
Whereas Christianity basically rejects Islam and Judaism, because Islam doesn't accept Jesus Christ as the holy savior, and Judaism is doesn't recognize the Gentile prophets, whereas Islam recognized all the prophets.
That's very interesting. Like
Yeah.
I said, I mean, my stance on religion, is affirmed that I just feel that all this is philosophy. I think there's the intrigue to religion and these religious texts
It's
is that
yeah.
there's some good knowledge in here and someone wrapped it up. It's like, oh, I will, like 1,000 years ago, I will teach you about this philosophy and these theories and how to live good, whatever. But I'll brand it under follow me and you got to do this and this. It's kind of like saying I will give you a degree at I don't know, X university,
Mm-hmm.
but you have to be loyal to that university for the rest of your life, or I will shred your degree. It's kind of like the same thing with religion. It's like I will
Yeah.
give you this knowledge, and if you have to be loyal to this religion for the rest of your life, and if not, you're going to hell and whatever. It's like
It's just a way for grifters to kind of like
I was gonna
snatch
say. I
it
feel
and
that
tell
organized
them,
religion today is kind of
yeah,
like that. It's like it's
yeah,
maybe you could expand more on that, grifters and
yeah. So like basically like I basically just declared myself not Muslim, and people think, oh, now I'm a heathen or whatever. I'm not. I'm just like, I recognize it, like the organized religion, Islam, Christianity, Judaism. It's all kind of a bunch of grifters trying to basically spin their own interpretation of the text in order to gain some sort of clout. Either that would be with the community or political reasons.
well, this is the exact
Such
same
as
thing.
with the state of Israel, in terms of like, we're the chosen people because of this text, and so this
Right.
is our land because this text said so, and
Yeah.
we interpret this way, even though it doesn't say it that way. We've watched interpret. You know what I mean? So
Right.
Organized religion uses, and I guess that's part of the conundrum that we live in, is we live in like half truth eras. So like the Bible, the Quran, and the Torah have half truths to them, or whatever, 75% truths to them. What is that? It's just like eating like a sandwich with the poison pill in it. You have to know where the poison pill is, but that takes like experience, right? It takes you actually going
That's what I'm
through
saying when I say
eating
like,
the sandwich. It's just like in the story of the prodigal son, where he went out and he hoarded up, and and then he came back, and then they had a big feast for him, right? Because now he understood, he got wisdom, as opposed to just me telling you how to live. It's like, you're gonna die, you're gonna die in hell if you don't do this, if you don't donate or whatever, blah blah blah, this that. You're like, you don't know what you're talking about, right? Then if you go out and then you live in a world of kind of a hedonistic life, a very materialistic life or whatever, and you realize how empty that is, you actually gain more experience than the guy who just stayed at home and listened to Sunday sermons all day. Like, you are actually more valuable to God, according to the story of the prodigal son. But you're more wise, right, in the story in the prodigal son, as opposed to the man that just sits at the church at Sunday pew every so often, just does mundane things, doesn't actually go out and go into the world and get new experience and test out the theory for himself, right?
Right.
So it actually, the Bible actually, with that story, there's a lot of interpretations you get that from, but that from a fair interpretation of the prodigal son is that when you go out and when you actually do these things, when you experience it, it doesn't necessarily have to mean you have to whore yourself or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, if you go out and you explore new things, you get new experiences and you grow from that, right? You get a new view of life and a new appreciation of, you get a different dynamic of relationships with your fellow man with your experience. Then you grow wiser and stronger, and then there's a feast waiting period at the end.
Yeah, I mean,
I
look,
don't know
I'll
if that
expand.
makes sense, but
Yeah,
yeah,
I'll expand on something like you were saying too. It's like,
yeah,
you have grifters, religious grifters, grifting on the different dynamics of different religions and stuff and their interpretations. And you see the exact same thing in politics too. You'll see, grifters, different interpretations of communism and NS and capitalism and whatever else. This is why I don't really consider myself anything specific, in terms of religion, anything specific in terms of politics to some degree. It's
hmm,
more like I'll take my cheese and avoid the trap. I'm not
yeah,
fully associated with you, but if I recognize some platform points or anybody, I mean, this is kind of like an interview, but
hmm,
I'm not associated with this group, that political group, this religion, that religion. If I hear something good, then 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 it's like there's no rules. I'll grab it.
yeah,
If thou shalt not kill. Like that's. I mean, this is just a oversimplistic example, but
yeah,
yeah. I mean, I don't think anybody. I mean, I don't. Depending. I mean, I don't care what you've done or how evil. I sometimes say stuff like, all pedophiles should be placed against a wall or a bullet in their back. I mean, I don't even. I mean, it's an example. Some people would still maintain that all pedophiles should be burning somewhere. I believe that all criminals, all evil doers, they're still everybody can acknowledge their wrongs and rehabilitate in some ways so I don't think anybody deserves the absolute extreme on life. But yeah, where was it going with that? It's the same thing with politics. It's like if I see something that I like in a specific political group, I'll take one and I'll take something from the other political group, and it doesn't matter how like historically at odds those political groups and have been against each other. I mean, just take your cheese, avoid the trap, and that way I don't owe anybody anything, and I'm not associated with their baggage. You make yourself, and you define yourself in that regard. So yeah, I mean, you had any questions? I mean, anything? Excuse me, anything on your mind or
oh,
anything specific for this stream? We got about
what
20 minutes left
sources
here.
do you have? What sources do you have about the men in not or abstaining from, like, I guess, being celibate in every aspect in
So
terms of the
celebrating from.
benefits
It's
of
a
the
good
Industrial
subject. I mean,
Revolution? Yeah,
okay, well, it's a good subject, and I know what you're trying to say. What you're
yeah,
asking, what
yeah,
sources? I know. Okay, so I mean, what sources do I have? Let me restate the question. You're basically asking, what
yeah.
sources do I have that show that there's something to, curbing or avoiding wet dreams in a, uh, targeted, uh, you know, physical or interceptive sort of way via products and machines. I mean, there's patterns that exist. So if you just go on Google and type in, they look like they were from like I think some of them have like 18 something, like 18. Is that the Industrial Revolution, the 18th
Hmm.
century, or is it,
Yeah,
or is the 18th century the 19th century?
yeah. 18th and 19th. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever the case, the Industrial Revolution. Uh, I just believe that no. What proof? I mean, the proof is patents and documents out there. So you can literally find them if you just Google it.
Okay.
No one's hiding it. And
Hmm.
I believe like men during the Industrial Revolution, like I was saying before, you're trying to build like complex machines and stuff. I don't have a complex machine on hand here, but well, I kind of have my car. So imagine like,
Yes.
imagine like, building mechanisms and moon roofs and windows and I don't know, like wipers and all that, all these mechanisms, and without a computer, without certain methodologies that we have today, all that. Imagine just building that, writing it down 2D, drafting all that, and taking a gamble with the idea. Because that's the thing is that, as soon as you release, I mean, your dreams, whether it's with the hottest girl or whether it's pixels on a screen, it really doesn't make a difference when you boil it down. That's what people don't get. Is
Boom.
I think my view is like, I'm sort of, the Bible probably says it. If you're gonna go out and release like, and it's not to make a kid, I think you're just wasting your time. And that's really where I am, 100% on things in regards to that today. If you're, and that's the thing. It's like, if you look at the average person, it's like, how many kids do you have? I don't know, 0.5 or 1 or something. I don't know what the average kid is in North
Not
America.
even, yeah.
It's probably
Well,
not even
by
point
2030, by
point seven
2030,
or something.
50% of women are going to be single and alone. And I think the Bible does talk about, uh, like the whore of Babylon, like the the Israelites, pouring it up and then hating their children, basically. So we're at a time right now where we're like hating our children. We hate uh, we basically live for ourselves. We're very gluttonous.
Yeah.
We don't think about the next generation. We just think about now. And
Well, it
so
is expensive.
basically,
I
yeah,
mean, I remember reading
yeah,
a CNN clip saying like the average kid from like 0 to 18 to raise that kid is like, like $250,000, and that was like 10 years ago. So it's probably at least like raising a kid today is at least closer to like, say, probably even half a million.
yeah.
If you're
Well,
getting a
the
kid.
the other thing they don't mention, I mean, yes, there is the economic part of it,
Yeah.
but the other thing is the social aspect as well too, with the advent of feminism and
Right. What
basically men or
That's
women
another thing I wanted
going
to say
into
too, is
the
that
yeah.
when I
Hmm.
was talking about like abstaining and stuff, there's politics behind that subject, and I'm sure a lot of, I mean, this is an overgeneralization, but I'm sure like a lot of feminists probably want to see guys like in their, I mean, I don't know, maybe not. I mean, this is just a, you know, gross generalized statement there, but I'm sure some feminists are like, forget the dudes, that are in their, porn addicted stupor, I'm sure some are so vengeful they just want to see them continue that.
Hmm.
I'm sure there's that political dimension to that. I don't know too
Hmm.
many feminists. I haven't talked to any feminists about this subject. I think most feminists, maybe they do talk about it. I haven't went out and looked for these videos. It's just an interesting subject because like, it's a very simplistic subject when you think about it. Abstain, and if you want to, I think, okay. So let me say that again. I think it's a very simple subject. Sexuality is for creating a kid. That's it. That's the thesis. Sexuality, human sexuality is for creating a kid, and I think it's biologically it's like that, you know. And what was
Well,
it?
the
That's where I'm
Quran
at right
would
now.
correct you, sir.
The Quran will correct me. Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever the case. Look, that's really where
Well, what
I'm at
about
with this.
intimacy within a monogamous relationship?
We can still have non-sexual intimacy. I mean, that's where I'm at too. It's like you can still have like a
Yeah.
platonic, because when you're in a platonic relationship, man, it's like the intrigue, the romance. I mean, the romance is deep, man. It's like that. But and that's another thing too, is that I know this for a fact. Women hate it more when you cheat on them romantically than sexually, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, there are some girls out there that are like, whatever, As I'm sure some girls even like, in some relationships, whatever. There's just different things you see in movies and television. And I mean, things I've even heard myself.
Hmm.
That I don't care about these subjects. I really don't. Like I have a very simplistic way of living my life, a very rigid and like restricted way of doing things, and it's gotten me some crazy results.
Hmm.
I know they're proven. Where was it going? That 100%. I mean, if you are, uh, that's it. I mean, like if you're like if you're cheating on someone like romantically, I think definitely that hurts some people more. I think they're both
Mhm.
bad. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know. I mean, like you can still talk to other people. I don't know where I'm going with that. My point is
Hmm.
basically, what was I gonna say with that? Yeah, what was the question? It's getting late. It is 12
Yeah. So
a.m.
basically, like, it's basically stating that the role of feminism. What do you think the role of feminism has in terms of how people view the family today, their
See, I don't
traditional
want to get
family?
too controversial with that. I've had feminists. It's one of those subjects, man. It's one of those subjects.
I
I've had
wanted
them
to
on
get down to
celibacy and
brass
no fat and
tacks. I just
whatever.
didn't want to beat around the bush
No, I
because
get what
I
you're
do that
saying. Look,
sometimes.
look, women want to go out there and make money. Like you're gonna
Mm,
find out that it's cold. It's a like, what you just want to. I mean, if you want to go out there and have the same advantages men have, no problem. I mean, that's great. I mean, you're gonna find out that if you're just gonna go out there just to make money for the sake of making money, go out there and excel. I mean, no problem. They should have the right to be able to do that. If you want to go out
mhm.
there and just excel in corporate in the corporate world, and climb the ladder and the echelon, whatever, and become a boss and make that money and drive your Beamer and whatever and have your big house and whatever. And if you just focus on that, it will probably just it can destroy you. The stress and whatever else, and the long nights and the diet and the obesity and the unhealthiness that comes with a really crazy schedule because just what was I gonna say? Maybe not the obesity, but I'm just saying like it's not really healthy if you're just going out there and stressing yourself to just make as much money as possible and climb it at all costs and whatever. It does have its like I'm digressing, but yeah,
I
you're gonna
think
find out.
I
I'm
think
just gonna find out
men,
it's a cold war because it is a cold war. If
yeah,
you just want to go out
yeah,
there and just you know, I mean, people
men
my
do it out of
age, you just want to go out
necessity.
there
It's
and get your nice condo and your brand new
yeah,
Hyundai, whatever. And just work like the long days and whatever, and it's just like soulless materialism where everybody's just a consumer and a worker, and it's just about dying with the most products, dying with the most materialism. I mean, that's really what capitalist society is in North America, and the West. It's just you go out there, you get as educated as possible. Well, maybe not as educated as possible. But you go out there with the idea of getting educated to make as much money as possible within certain restrictions, whatever constraints
connections,
you have. Yeah, exactly, constraints or whatever. Going out there and making the money, and it's all about just making money. That's really what it is. You're making money, maybe having the family too, but there's just like this money component, and there
I
isn't
feel like
that spiritual component. I'm saying the
yeah,
spiritual component is missing. The spiritual component, the the shared destiny component with your fellow man, the family. I mean, there's obviously. I mean, you can have fulfilled families and stuff. I was trying to give you a simple answer. I guess the answer is most people go out there thinking like you're gonna find out it's a cold world. I mean, if you're just going out there, that's basically my answer. If you just want to go out there and make money for the sake of making money and climbing the ladder, I said this answer like in 20 lines in one.
yeah.
You're gonna find out it's a cold world, and to me, I don't. That's something I've told myself I'm not gonna do. Just to go out there and climb the ladder, just to climb the ladder and make the money so I can buy the biggest house, the biggest car, the fanciest whatever. Those things don't. Those things haven't interested me in a long time. Like the materialism, like the.
Yeah, I
It's
just
not. It's not that I couldn't afford. I mean, it's not like I can't have that life and afford nicer things. It's just that to me, it doesn't make any sense. It's like I'm gonna work twice
I
as
think
hard. Hear me out. Hear me out.
okay, okay.
I'm gonna work twice as hard just to buy shit twice as expensive. I'm gonna stress myself twice as hard in life because there's some people that actually this is their vision in life is to work twice as hard to buy shit twice as nice. I mean, I can understand like there's a standard to like food. If you don't want to buy, if you don't want to eat at the shelter, or if you don't want to buy food that's like gonna expire tomorrow and it's reduced or something, and I get what you said. There's a standard. There's a standard to certain things, like food and
Hmm.
you don't want to be wiping your butt with brown paper or whatever. Like you want nice toilet paper or whatever. There are standards to like there's a standard. You want to have running water and all that stuff. I get it. Have a phone, but like it gets to a point where people are working twice as hard. From what I understand, I'm sure. I mean, I don't know how many people I just see it. You can see it. There are people that are chasing things that, in my opinion, aren't worth chasing because they're just like, what's the point? What, just brand names and whatever else. I kind of extended that. I could have answered that shorter. What was the question?
Yeah, so basically, like, I think I can maybe extend upon your point in that feminism, even if a lady is wholly, no, 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 I'm not talking, no, no, I want to talk about it. I can talk about it. I'm going to
Yeah,
talk
you can
about it in
talk
a
about it. I
really,
mean,
in a good faith way. Um, so basically, even if someone is very honorable, um, there is honorable feminists out there. They don't sleep around or anything like that. Even if they go to college, they get a career. Well, the college usually has debt to it, so then they have to pay off the debt. Then they have to get a job. Then they have to rent, and then and it's basically just one income, right? And so by the time you're like caught up and you're like 30, your egg your this is a biological fact. I'm sorry, but your eggs are starting to dry up. They're eggs, right? And they're less
I think
likely
you're
to
not
be
able. I
fertile,
think
right?
women aren't able to have children at like 45 or something, 48 or
Yeah.
something.
But like when you get to 30, you're not. I guess you're not as attractive to men when you were like 18 or 19.
Like they wouldn't be as attracted to men or not as attractive to men.
No, like to men, like they're not as attractive. Like to
I
men.
don't know, man. I mean, that's a that's a controversial thing to say. I mean, I'm just like not even controversial. I don't even think it's an accurate thing to say because I think a woman can still be beautiful. I mean, look,
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I'm not saying she won't be, but it's like when you're a man, right? When you're 19 or 18, it's kind of weird. You have the highest sexual like libido, but you have like the lowest value. Like you're not valued by anybody. You're basically like a loser unless you marry like someone who's 17. Like you do have like some people who are married when they're like 18 or 19, right? But
Well, I mean,
um
maybe people should maybe people should get married first and then
yeah.
pursue careers after. I mean, I have the
Yeah.
family. I don't know. I mean, that's really like I think
Mhm.
for that to work, you need like a country that would have to have like policies in place to facilitate that sort of thing. I don't think someone can just move out when they're 17 or move out when they're 18, marry and have children with their. I mean, it probably would be better for society in that way, where you have more children and what's that? You have like stronger households and stuff and whatever else. I mean, maybe you
Mhm.
would. I don't know if people are mentally prepared for that today. Maybe they were more in the past. I mean,
Mhm.
I don't. It requires maturity to be able to do that as well. I mean, biologically, I mean, yeah, it would be the most ideal thing biologically to have healthier kids around that age, like in your early
Mhm.
20s than like in your 30s or 40s or
Mhm.
yeah, So to answer your question, I think that this capitalist society is a dog eat dog world, man. It makes
Yeah.
off this capitalist society makes money off people who succeed, but it also makes money off people who fail. And I think there's also, I mean, this is something I wanted to put out there. I mean, there's entire sections of capitalist society that are just hounding and just hoping people fail. I mean, that might be a cynical thing to say, but I mean, if you just look at like the banking systems. I mean, they really bank on people. No pun intended. They bank on people. What's that? They bank on delinquents. People defaulting on loans and debts and whatever. So there's a
Mhm.
whole failing. Like having people put in prison. I mean, you don't see this in Canada, but more in the United States, where the prison system is commercialized and you privatized and what have you. So crime is encouraged subtly. I mean, letting people come across the border so they can use them as cheap labor, use them as soldiers to enlist in wars that nobody wants to fight anymore, any American wants to fight. There's this whole like there is people
Well,
might say,
even
oh,
in Canada, you don't have to be a Canadian citizen anymore to be in the army. You can just be a permanent resident.
I mean, at one point they're just going to be like hiring mercenaries. I mean, you
Yeah,
see this in like future video games, where like you're
yeah.
fighting country X and it's just mercenaries or robots and whatever else,
Well,
fuck.
isn't that what they
But
did with the Ukraine war? They hired a bunch of mercenaries.
well, there's Ukrainian mercenaries fighting in Israel. I mean, that has come out. But yeah, in the Ukrainian war, I mean, it's not. I don't even think it's mercenaries. Yeah, there are mercenaries. Yeah, I mean, gung ho people from the UK and stuff, and there's also
Hmm.
like actual like like German and British troops that are fighting there in
Hmm.
military capacities. They have like So I mean, the Ukraine war is a bloodbath. That shit. I mean, Putin actually offered the United States a ceasefire today or this week, and
Hmm.
the Americans refused it. So I don't know. They actually refused it, and they they increased. They approved.
It's all
They
Putin's fault.
it's all Putin's fault. Forget his ceasefire. We're gonna pour more taxpayer money on this war, and that's it. I mean, that's their solution. Then let's not negotiate. Let's send money and weapons instead of diplomats and peacemakers. But as for feminism, I think like I don't know the definitions. I don't have I didn't come here prepared for a debate. So, from
Oh,
what I
it's,
understand, when it comes to feminism, like women just want to be able to do what men are be able to do,
yeah.
and succeed and thrive and whatever, and make the money and excel and whatever. And honestly, I've got no problem with that. I
Hmm.
think you're just gonna find out that it's a cold world. I mean, there's a lot of jobs that men don't even want to do, and instead of focusing on, I think instead of focusing on if women can do it, you just focus on like whether like robots can do it or something. And then men can retire. Then we can all retire, and just
Yeah,
collect the dividends or whatever else. But
yeah.
no, I mean, I never had a problem with feminism. I mean, like there's dimensions to that, like there's radical feminism and whatever else. I mean, I don't know the definitions. I haven't
Hmm.
studied it close enough to really like understand it. If I think like this subject is a pretty taboo subject, some people are just gonna be like, like this and that. So I don't know. I think there's definitely some good points there. I mean, like, I got no
Well,
problem with.
there's different waves of feminism.
There's different waves and different flavors and dimensions and whatever else. It's like anything else, and I think like some things just deviate away from like the core, vision of like.
I actually heard a feminist say that like women who get like boob jobs. She says, "Why would you do that? Why would you do that?"
I can't do the controversial stuff, man. I mean, like,
Okay.
I mean, the way I see this is like we live in this like no man's land capitalist society where everybody's an individual. I mean, as long as it isn't like this is my. I mean, would I encourage
Everybody's
my
an
daughter?
individual, guys.
I don't know, man.
There's
Sorry,
there's
I'm sorry about
you
that.
still gonna graduate or what?
I mean, it's
You're pretty
all.
controversial already.
Well, that's it. Everybody's an individual, and if you want to do whatever you want to yourself, and it's not
Yeah.
illegal, not impeding on someone else's whatever, it is what it is. Go do it. I mean, there's certain things I'm not gonna say, but I mean, there's certain things. I mean, would I encourage? I don't have children, but would I
Yeah.
encourage my children to do it? Would I suggest it to them in private? This and that. So I mean, there's certain things like, would I
Yeah.
do it myself?
Yeah.
Would I encourage it as the right thing to do? I mean, that's. There's such a thing as like, following your heart, and then there's following fads. There's some people who
Mhm.
do things to their bodies and they regret doing, like after 10 years or after 5 years, and they're removing things that just don't grow back once you remove them, or adding things that they kind of regret adding or whatever. So I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I think in the end, it's like religion lives in your heart. How you feel about who you are also is in your heart. To me, it's just like I have some very strong political views, but I rarely actually wear T-shirts with my political views on them. It's like
Mhm.
who cares? This is what I wanted to say too, is that the strong. I mean, forget no fap and celibacy; those are important things. But the one thing that will really empower, especially young people, is not caring what other people think about you. Like, just forget what other people think about you. If you forget what other people think about you, and you basically are walking around as if nobody's around you, what difference would it make to remove something on your body or add something on your body? You know, I mean, I guess some people do it for others, but you know, I mean, to me, like, if I feel like I'm someone else in my mind, but I'm born someone else, you know, I don't know. I mean, to me, it's just like it's all in the mind. So I mean, like, it's in my mind. I feel this way. That's it. I don't need to, you know, show it to anybody. You know, I mean, some people feel like it's a part of their expression, and we live in a country where you're allowed to express yourself in that way, and you know, if you want to express yourself, express it. You know, it's
Allegedly.
there's also, yeah. Well, didn't work out too well for me when I expressed myself at the university, but you know, I guess some people are allowed to express themselves certain ways, and you know, others are criminalized and taboo. But my point is basically, where was it going with that? It's yeah, I mean, like, express yourself on your own dime too. I mean, don't expect others to subsidize it or whatever, or pay for it, and I don't know. It is what it is. I mean, um, what's that? Just think about it. I think, and there's also like children, because like, you know, you might, you know, influencing children is one thing. I mean, like, you know, children's minds are very pliable. I mean, growing up myself, I mean, like, I grew up in the '90s. I mean, when I was when I was going to elementary school, it was in the '90s and early 2000s, and you know, I mean, it was a good time. Like, I didn't we didn't hear too much like controversial, you know, polarized, not polarized, but like, you know, divisive sort of stuff. I had a childhood, man. Like, it wasn't. I didn't have to think too hard about things. It wasn't too controversial. I didn't have to hear about, you know, some of the things people are saying their kids have to hear in school.
Oh
And
yeah.
yeah, well, we don't have to go into specifics of that, but
You imagine going to high school now, just like
well,
the
here,
like everyone
I
has
want to
like
keep this very coy, you know. But
oh,
that's it, you
okay.
know. Yeah, so like, yeah, I think some people know exactly what we're talking about.
Okay.
When I went to high school, I mean, they tried. It was beginning to, you know, like, get in there. I skipped those classes. I didn't want to hear it, and that's it. You know, I had a great childhood, and I had a great teenage life, and I think part of it was just being able to be a child and a teenager, and part of that be able to be a child and a teenager is not have to deal with these things adults have to think about, you know, and adults have to think about those things because they're able to think about it, and because they're adults, you know. So it's like there's just some things that adults have to think about that make adult life, you know, as stressful as it can be. And there's just things like, you know, being a teenager doesn't have to be stressful because you don't have to think about those things. You know, it's like
Mhm.
that's basically it. And it's like, this is an argument that no one can really like come at me for. So I'm just saying, like, I don't want to hear it, not because I'm biased against certain, like an example. I don't want my kid to hear it, or I didn't want to hear it, not because I'm biased towards certain people, certain positions, certain conversations, politics, whatever. I just think like those things are stressful, and it's just made for adults to think about, you know. And some people might say, you know, their counter argument would be, you know, you're holding back someone from being who they are. But I think being a teenager and a kid is universal, man. If you just want to be a teenager and a kid, it's universal. And some people will be like, you know, teenagers, kids, whatever. There's an identity that I don't think there is an identity. Is there an identity being a kid and a teenager? Like, you know, it's just like you're with your friends. Everybody accepts each other for who they are. It is what it is, and that's it. You know, it's just like, why make the differences even more? I mean, I don't know. Uh, I don't know, man. I'm just trying to keep this pretty neutral, but I think I'm able to. I think I'm expressing a certain subtlety. Some people are catching will catch on, and there's a point there. Like, I'm saying it without actually saying it, and I'm making sense. So some people still fight me to the end on it. So it's not a subject I'm vested into. I don't really care. Like, I'm so removed from it. Like, I live in the suburbs, and it's like I have my space, and like, you know, like I'm happy with who I am, and who I'm happy with who I am
Mhm.
as I was born. If some people aren't, and if they want to change that, that's up to you to do as an individual. Like, no problem. go do it, you know. But I'm just saying, like, I think like you'll be able to reach the maturity to think about those things, like because like I think you fully reach like adult maturity around like 25, at least 25 with some people. I think if you're mildly autistic or something, like it should be like later, and like you know, so it's like everybody's got like these problems. There's so much pollution in society. It, people's minds have been affected by it, you know, and just mental illness from just all the brain dead BS we're fed, you know, in entertainment. Where was it going with that? I'm basically saying like, you know, by around 25, like, and by the time you're 25, you won't be even thinking about these things. You won't be thinking about style and fads and identity and whatever. You're just thinking about like, I don't know, paying the bills and you know, like putting food on the table and stuff, and advancing yourself in your career and education and whatever else. So it's like, or maybe not at 25, but education. Maybe if you do decide to pursue it, that's what's great about this country. You can go back whenever you want, uh, and excel yourself in skills and whatever else. And where was it going with this? Yeah, I'm just trying to offer like new arguments to like, you know, some of these things you're mentioning. People might have
Hmm.
they have blinders onto those things. So I mean I think I think I've answered that question pretty well.
Hmm.
Uh, it's always a test with you, you know. But
Yeah.
like I said, man, once you say
I
things
I
online,
never get I
it's
never
out there, it's
get
out there. You know, I mean, you speak for
yeah,
yourself. I speak for myself. You
yeah,
know, I don't claim to speak for anybody else either. So
yeah.
you know, it's just
Do
it is what it is.
you have that problem too? Like when you walk into a room, no matter how you articulate yourself, they still reject you.
I can articulate myself pretty well, and like I said, it's just from discipline. You know, it's like
Yeah,
I think there's some things that are just universal. Like if you say, like I remember speaking to some feminists about like celibacy and that, and they're
yeah.
like, it's a primal urge. And I remember it was a teacher I was talking to. It's a primal urge. What you're saying, like I'm an animal and I have to look at like women as a piece of meat or something. I don't know. They weren't really able to like they 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 weren't. I don't think they had like a handbook on that part. You know, I don't think their handbook kind of a you know crappy thing to say that they have a handbook they're studying, but I mean I don't think their rhetoric or whatever. I mean I don't think they were like prepared for that conversation. So you
Hmm.
know like men going their own way and you know and women could go their own way too and you know use discipline and I think a lot of women do and it's just like yeah maybe I have this like view of women where like they're always perfect. I mean like you know all women are what's this guy saying? Shalom for my home. What's up, man?
He's an Orthodox. He practices Orthodox Judaism. Judas
Interesting.
Fleischai. Yeah.
Great. Anyways, what was I gonna say? Yeah, I'm sure. Like, I have this view where, like, oh, well, you know, women are perfect. They don't have vices. They don't suffer from them as much as. Well, I mean, you see it. I mean, any major city, you'll see also women, you know, suffering victims of. I'm gonna come on, but let me put on my clothes.
He the last stream I was on with him, he had this like black hat, and then he had like sunglasses, and he had this black suit, and he kind of looked like from the Men in Black. You know the Men in Black?
Yeah,
Yeah, he looked exactly like that. Yeah,
interesting. So my point
yeah.
is basically like, you know, where was it on that? I'm saying like, you know, all these things I'm talking about, discipline, whatever, women could do the exact same thing, and they could benefit from it in the exact same ways. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I think modernity, vices, addiction, you know, it's universal. Capitalism, the you know the system that devours people for their benefit, for their successes and their failures. It targets women and men. And I remember like even like the bankers, whatever. There people were saying like back in the day they just wanted women to work, so they just had it wasn't really to liberate women and their skills. It was more like getting women in the meat grinder and just like taxing them and making money off them. You know, so the
Oh,
capitalist
that
system.
was like a Rothschilds movement. Basically, it was just basically so they have more of a tax base,
That's it.
and then also if you have more of a labor supply, the cost of labor goes down too, since you have more to choose from.
Exactly, and like you know, instead of
Yeah.
like giving people who are already in the labor pool their rights or whatever, they're just gonna add more people, and when they want more rights, they're gonna add more people. It's like you know, it's like to the point where it's just like people want their rights. Well, let's just outsource it to a different country, and then they want their own rights. You know, it's kind of like, like people want their own rights. Okay, let's have like illegals do it. We can't have illegals anymore. If they want their rights, okay, let's send it overseas. They want their rights, okay, let's have like machines do it. I'm just,
Yeah.
who knows? Maybe one day you're gonna have machines like in the Matrix that are like, we're tired of working for you guys. Okay, we're gonna send it to the moon. Fuck, I don't know. That's how I see it.
Are you of the persuasion? Now, I don't know if this will get you in trouble or not, but
No, you gotta
are
watch what
you
we're
of the
saying, man.
persuasion that we live in a globe or on
Oh,
something else?
see, I don't know. I mean, like, I think when it comes to like flat Earth and what do you call it, flat Earth and like the tr- traditional Earth or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I really believe like we've been lied to about what do you call it, or maybe it's just like I think we've been lied to about age and distance
Hmm.
for sure, and not out of like any nefarious reason. I think some people have just been saying like they'll be like, oh, the sun is this far or this whatever or this wide,
Hmm.
whatever. And I think like
Yeah.
just for their own, just to save face and not to say like we've kind of been wrong about like half of these measurements. If they were to say that, then it would be like, okay, if you've been lying, not lying, but if you've been wrong and you haven't corrected yourself about these measurements for this long, what
Yeah.
else have you been wrong about? So you see
Yeah.
a lot of that. It's kind of like kind of going back to our last conversation about fluoride. Like it's
Hmm.
political because like the World Health Organization puts fluoride in their top 10 like greatest things of the 20th century or rather. So it's like, if they're wrong about fluoride, they're gonna come out and say, we're wrong about fluoride, and like what else are you wrong about? The vaccines and this and mercury fillings and whatever else, and it's just like it opens up a whole like can of worms for them. And
Hmm.
I think it just goes back to like, if you're a humble person, the micro of the person, it's like you'd say like, I was wrong about this and put out the correction or whatever. And I think it would just give him more credibility. But I guess they're not going to do that. It's like you see this with like the Americans too, with like the wars. It's like, it's like we were kind of wrong about the Bay of Tonkin and Vietnam and weapons of mass destruction in Iraq and Osama being here and there and there and there. And, just like before you know it, it's like you got like 30 wars that you were kind of wrong about, and like it just compounds. It's like, and at some point it's just like they realize it compounds, and then like you have a cover up, and then you have all this, and then the cover up turns into like fiasco where something happens and they kill somebody or they threaten somebody, and you got payoffs and whatever else, and it just looks like a conspiracy, and that's just what it turns out to be. I mean, like it can really like snowball for them. But maybe I'm giving them too much of the benefit of the doubt. I think like some of these people are just like just rotten and really really bad people. Like
Do you think they're
to
actually
answer your
preparing?
question, like I don't know. Like I'm kind of
Yeah.
agnostic on that. And some people might
Yeah.
think I'm crazy. Like, how can you be unsure about the Earth being flat? I don't know. I mean, like it's like I haven't been to space. I mean, fuck, I haven't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like someone asking me, like, is the world flat or round? It's like, fuck, I haven't been to space. I can't like tell you 120% for sure. Like maybe it is. Maybe it is a fear. Maybe it's been like. Maybe it is that. Maybe it's been like. Maybe it is the traditional sense of what the Earth is. I mean, I have an open mind, so I always leave like a few percentage on like something else. Like another possibility. So
Well,
I'm
I
pretty good when
I
it comes
kind
to
of I share the same position. Like I call myself a skeptic whenever I get
globes.
asked on the question. Yeah.
I
Like
think I
so
think it's
I
maybe like
basically I tell people prove the globe model to you, and then so basically I'll spit them some facts. And so basically if the earth is turning at, I don't know, how would they say, like 1,500 miles per hour around the sun, and it's also spinning like 2,000 miles per hour on the sun. And then so if we're going to measure the sun, the distance between earth and the sun at the speed of light, when you send out that signal, and then when it bounces back, the Earth is already like 14 minutes ahead of whatever of when that signal was first started. So how do you know that the sun is 93 miles away?
Look, I think a lot of these numbers, and I think it's the same thing with how long dinosaurs live. Like apparently, like according to the Bible, I mean, I
I just
remember someone
believe they're
telling.
just big lizards.
What's it? I mean, apparently, like according to the Bible, it says like all creatures were created like on the sixth day, and so like I used to be this like I love dinosaurs growing up like as a kid, and I can't
Mm-hmm.
get over. I mean, it's kind of to me like it's like got Triassic and Jurassic. What's this guy saying?
Oh, no, he actually has a good point about Judas. He talks about like dinosaurs in the Torah,
That's
so
interesting. I didn't know
he's
other
interested in
religions.
it.
My point is
Yeah,
basically like, what was I gonna say?
know when he's gonna come on.
Yeah, so look, I just think like did dinosaurs live at the same time? Apparently, like some Christians will tell me they're like, yeah, dinosaurs lived at the exact same time as man. They weren't taken on Noah's Ark. Some of them were. They weren't. I mean, it just makes you wonder. But like, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I think they were real for sure because the bones in the ground are just too complex. Some people
Mm-hmm.
say that like those bones are fake. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
like they look really complex and detailed, and like over the years they actually got dinosaurs wrong. They were saying like they stood like that, dragging their tails, and now we're saying like their tails were up for balance and stuff. I mean, I've loved dinosaurs growing up as a kid, and I know a lot about dinosaurs. My point was basically like, I think like they I don't know if they're right fully on the time, like when they lived, where they lived, whatever else. Hey brother, how you doing?
Shalom.
Never call a Jew your brother!
Good day, brother. Yeah. So, what was I gonna say? What's that? So that's basically it, man. Like, we're all in here. How you
Yeah,
doing, brother?
so Judas he has an interesting take on dinosaurs and how they're mentioned in the Torah, I believe. And I like to add too that there's also human giant skeletons too that that they have that they also find as well too. But like oil companies, what they do is they actually drill and so they actually still find stuff, but they don't report it because if they report it, then they have to stop operation, and then the archaeologist has to go in and find where the bones are, right? And so a lot of the stuff there's probably a lot of
Yeah,
like
I'm sure. Like oil
giant
companies,
skeletons.
man. I
Yeah,
mean, like, I'm sure oil companies have. I mean, they drill right through Pompeii if they if they
yeah,
report that. They're just like, oh, I mean, ancient civilization. Let's just we got oil to fucking take out of the ground. I mean, like, I mean, I
yeah.
personally believe I'm at the belief. So this is not controversial. It might be controversial to an oil company, but I personally believe that there's unlimited amount of oil. I think oil is a
Mm.
naturally replenishing. What do you call it? Uh, Resource. I think it's created probably by something else in the ground than dinosaur ecosystems and whatever else. You're making me hungry. I had some McDonald's earlier.
What'd you get from McDonald's?
What's that?
What'd you get from McDonald's?
I got a man. This is how you know I'm old. It's like I'm like I want a nature burger, and like no ketchup and no mustard. Like just the hamburger is enough for me. Yeah. So
Not
I
even
mean
a
I guess
cheeseburger.
no, I don't even like the cheese. Just the burger and the bun.
The cheese
Oh,
is the best part.
Yeah, cheese isn't that bad. It's not quality cheese. It's like I don't know why like McDonald's doesn't step up there. Like if they had like a luxury division of McDonald's, maybe someone should do that. Like you go to McDonald's and like they have like Swiss cheese on the burger. I want Swiss cheese.
Yeah, it's
And
called France.
they have that's yeah. I guess in North America we
They
get
have
like
a McDonald's somewhere where like it's like it has all the different McDonald's items from other countries.
do they? Okay, that's cool. Interesting. So
I
I'll
think
just
it's
go
called
back
the
to
World McDonald's or something like that.
where's that?
It's called the World McDonald's. Like has the items from other countries.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so as back to the oil, I think like there's unlimited amount of oil. I think there's definitely conspiracy there, 100%. It would make sense though, for oil companies to want to like suppress that because they're like, you know, I mean it could be some oil like right under like Quebec. I think it's like they'll place oil in specific areas of the world for political reasons. Like why are we fighting over oil? Like why is the U.S. like like drilling oil in Syria and stealing oil in Syria and Iraq when there's like so much oil in Alaska?
Good pasta.
What's that? Yeah,
Mhm.
looks good.
Really good pasta. Spaghetti. You know what? One piece of spaghetti is called a spaghetto.
Spaghetto, single, yeah.
Spaghetto. A single spaghetti is called spaghetto.
Interesting. But yeah, I mean, so what's your take on the dinosaurs? You think dinosaurs?
Rabbi Victor Miller, who was a great rabbi who passed away in 2001, in his commentary on the book of Genesis, he actually writes in the beginning, near the beginning, that dinosaurs did in fact exist and that they went extinct and that we're finding their bones today. And also, it says in the Zohar that the world is round.
Okay, interesting.
You guys are talking about round Earth, flat Earth. I think flat Earth is beyond stupid. Yeah. And the Zohar, and the reason I believe the Zohar, the world is round, it's shaped like a ball, is because the Zohar says the world is round.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I think what was it going with that? I think like flat Earth is just like CIA stuff. They'll put on like
disinfo.
Yeah, disinfo. Those
controlled opposition. Yeah,
9/11 truth.
It's to make truth tellers look stupid and crazy and ridiculous.
That's exactly it. Yeah, so it's just I mean, you figured that out. I mean, like, I don't know. What was it going with that? Man, I'm mumbling here. I'm just like that tired. But yeah, man, maybe you can tell me more about yourself, man, Mr. Rabbi.
I am Rabbi Judas. I have a YouTube channel. Google us. You can YouTube search Judas Fly Chai. I do a lot. I mostly restream content from the Luke Ford Whack Pack. If you don't know who Luke Ford is, John Vance can fill you in later on. But I just I come on the Claire Cost stream sometimes. I go on the Stephen J. James chat to fuck around. Sorry for you cursing. I shouldn't curse in this outfit. To mess around and to send money so I can get more to get clout.
That's good, man. I mean, I'm just like I don't really I'm just a regular guy here, man. I'm just stream, but
I'm saying for the audience.
What's that?
I'm saying for the audience.
Yeah, it's part of my target, I guess. People who watch, they're very enamored with the Judas Fly.
You got some things on your wall. We'll start with the Israeli flag last, but what's the first thing there?
So that there has some Hebrew writings on it. It says "V'nachnu korim v'mashtachim modim." Is from the prayer Aleinu. One of the prayers that Jewish people say is called the Aleinu prayer. And this quote is actually from the Ashkenazic version of the prayer. The Sephardic version that I prayed from words it differently from how it is on my wall. I just think it's fun to have a different culture on my wall. And the other flag is an Israeli flag. I used to have a U.S. flag, but my father requested that I give him the flag to put in our front yard.
Okay, you're in the United States.
Yes.
Do you believe that is actually the Star of David, the Israeli flag, or do you think it's a star of something else?
No, let's not get too controversial.
Sorry. You got a court case pending. I apologize. Sorry. I know. I apologize.
I'm comfortable answering that.
I'm just trying to like stay peaceful here. Like,
he has a court case pending. Sorry.
I don't even want to talk about Israel Palestine. If you have the Israeli flag,
it has nothing to do with Israel Palestine. It has to do with Jewish history and Jewish Judaica. You can't talk about Judaica. Are you like the UK or something?
I'm in Canada.
No, he's in a process right now of a legal battle. I don't know if you saw our last stream, but he was in the university and he was giving facts about the IDF and the Israeli government. And basically he had the cops called on him and he was escorted outside and they took his sign.
I'm going to say something smart.
We can talk about this.
Brother, I think in the end, it's like, to me, it's like I use rationality and advanced, discipline, no-fap energy to say crazy things.
No-fap is good.
Yeah, crazy things that will impress both people that hate me and love me. So I'm going to say this. So some people see the Israeli flag and they get triggered. They're like, to me, it's a flag. A community is in the mind. I mean, there's nothing like it's a flag that represents invisible borders. Maybe there might be a fence somewhere, but like it's just a community in the mind. It really is that. If everybody woke up tomorrow with their minds blank, and maybe and the flags that go away, they wouldn't know what it was. So it's kind of like the Quebec flag. I mean, Quebec is just a community. Is there a Quebec community? Yeah, it's in the mind. It's people. There are people who are European, French-speaking Quebecers that don't even consider themselves part of the Quebec flag. There are also, Jews in Israel that happen to be, immigrants from other countries, or, they could have been like, Arabs from, Iraq that converted to Judaism, that that live in Israel for whatever reason, maybe because it's a higher standard of living or something, or they moved or whatever else. There's so many different like peculiarities and whatever of different people living under different communities that it really doesn't matter. I mean, like when we talk about politically about Israel, like when I have the Israeli flag up, like we're talking about the leaders of Israel. When I say Israel did this, I mean we're talking about the leaders of Israel, and obviously
Yeah, the Israeli government are very evil people. The people of Israel are amazing, beautiful people. The government is ran by very, very wicked people.
There you go, man. I see. There you go. See, so the people who saw us kind of engage here, I didn't come right off and see the Israeli flag and just go off it, Rabbi Yehuda there. I just like I'm there you go. So this is what I'm talking about. I preach, understanding and dialogue, and we can. That's it. And even if you said something to me, I mean, it's in your mind, whatever. We all have an expiration date, so we're all gonna leave this earth at one point. I mean, I mean, unless you're able to download someone's mind into a computer or something. Like, you could be the most evil bastard, or, you can have the most fringe, crazy view. Netanyahu, he's going to go. And I think when Netanyahu passes the
Netanyahu has blood on his hands.
He's got all kinds of blood on his hands, man. He's got Jewish blood on his hands. He's got Palestinian blood on his hands. He's got all kinds of blood on his hands. He's a crazy
and
guy.
He poses as being right-wing and conservative when he's not.
What do you think about? I mean, I see the videos myself. What do you think of the way some Orthodox Jews are treated by the IDF and Israeli police forces?
I'm not so informed. Maybe there's another side to this story, but yeah, it's very shameful to see Israeli soldiers brutalizing religious Jews.
Yeah,
it looks very bad in front of the Goyim.
let's keep it like. Let's keep it not. I'm begging you here, man. Come on, let's keep it non-controversial, man. I don't even want to go down like certain roads, man. Like, please.
Okay. Sorry.
The tags of this stream could be comedy, please.
The communism of your country is giving me so much culture shock. Oh my gosh.
Please. Anyways, man, we'll talk about abstracts now. Go back to talking about dinosaurs, no fab, celibacy, whatever.
Yeah,
no
can you guys want to hear my no fab tips? You guys want to hear my no fap tips?
Yes.
I don't even care about that, bro. I talk
yes.
about that because
this is one that comes from the Holy Maimonides. Maimonides says if you want to be saved from sexual urges, you need to go to the restroom as often as you can and prolong your breaks. Going to the restroom lowers your sexual urge in the good way, and it also helps. It'll make you live longer, and you'll have better overall health and well-being. And also, you should. A good tip for this is to pour cold water or even warm water on your organ, on your sexual organ, and this helps empty your bladder. This will save you from sin. And also, you should sleep on your side. Never sleep on your stomach and never sleep on your back, because this causes a sexual arousal and it can lead to nocturnal emission. God forbid.
God forbid.
So take cold showers.
Cold showers work.
And another one is don't eat spicy food and don't eat garlic. Don't eat sharp food. Those foods will make you horny.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. No, you're right about that. Going to the bathroom is one thing. Is you got you got a whole if your bowels are clogged with crap or whatever, your bladder's full. You know, like it's gonna like, you know, prostates and whatever else. It's gonna, you know, start.
Yeah, go on. This is interesting. I don't know the
Well, that's
science
it.
behind
Also, I
it.
noticed after nocturnal emission, like your body literally will speed up your metabolism. So I'll wake up and like if I have one, like, you know, like I feel like my metabolism is moving. I got to go use the bathroom, whatever else. So I mean, like fasting, I think it's so many days. I mean, like I don't I wake up in the morning, especially with this many days of like celibacy, whatever. You know, like I don't drink coffee. That's one thing. No caffeine, no
Mm.
coffee, no. Obviously, I don't
No
sober.
sugar.
Well, I mean, sometimes I'll have like
You're
a
you're
donut.
you're, you're saying I was gonna get diabetes the other day. You're like, oh, John, you're getting diabetes. Yeah.
Bro, I mean, my old man had diabetes, so it's like genetically encoded in me, you know. So I got to, I got to get off the Timbits and the the Krispy Kreme and whatever else. But I don't eat too much of it.
Mm-hmm.
But what was I gonna say?
Oh
I
yeah,
don't know.
red meat causes causes people to become horny.
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, like
Mm.
And
the way they
also,
slaughter meat, like what you know. I mean, I think about
also
it, you got.
I read in a Jewish book that I don't know if you guys are into these like spiritual teachings, but it says that
Yeah,
a person who is guilty of sexual sins should not eat red meat except on the Sabbath and the Jewish holidays.
right.
But
Interesting.
but fish is not meat. Just so you know, fish is never considered meat.
No, for sure. I mean, I don't think a fish has that much testosterone, anyways. To, I think if you're like, you know, if when they kill, I mean, I'm sure like it's different with kosher food, kosher meat, but like, you know, when they, the way they kill like animals now, like in factory farms, I mean, like before the animal's slaughtered, the thing is scared, it's angry, it's got its testosterone up, it's got its adrenaline up, and they don't cleanse the animal of the blood. At least they do it when they, I guess, the
Ray, can I
kosher.
make a book
It's
recommendation?
halal,
Yeah,
halal,
halal
halal
and
standard.
kosher, they actually drain the blood, so you're not getting all that, you know, testosterone and adrenaline and whatever else that could make you
Ray, can
horny.
I make a book ebook? I can send. I could put in the. I could drop in the chat for you.
Yeah, no problem. I'll have a look at it.
Mhm.
Yeah, this book is a book on the proving truths of the Torah of the Jewish religion, and it actually has a section where it talks about the scientific proof that kosher slaughter is actually it more in the is more humane. It does. Wait, hold on. I actually have an article. Hold on, I'll drop in the private. This article is more to the point. This one is just about that what I just mentioned about the ethical, the humane practices of kosher slaughter. So if you're interested, you could check that out in the private chat.
Yeah, I'll definitely look into that.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, personally, I'll just like I just got to like, I mean, for your digestion too, because I noticed that if you go to bed bloated, like say like, you know, you get a huge ass meal, and you get like 5 hours of sleep, your body will actually that's another way it will give you the nocturnal emission. It will give you it just to clear your digestion. So just to be clear, if you don't want nocturnal emissions, don't eat too much before going to bed. Eat light. Obviously, eating light does not include eating steak, you know. So I mean, you know, light food, maybe like oatmeal, cereal, like juices, vegetables, fruits and stuff. Yeah, just normal stuff, you know. And you know, fish is light too. Yeah, the heavy pork and the beef and the lamb and whatever else. I mean, I just gotta get off that anyways because it's like all that. I mean, most meats today are processed, and that's basically it. But yeah, right.
Look how Hebrew my mukbang is. It has Hebrew letters on it.
Was that kosher like 5 times there?
It has one, two, three different kosher labels.
Yeah, I've
And
seen that on.
it tells you what blessing to say, and it says according to two different opinions. According to my opinion and the Chabad opinion, I really like these a lot. I get these like once a week. The rice.
I've seen entire like tankers. They transport like milk and stuff in like the actual container that's kosher. But yeah, it is what it is. I mean, we live in a. I mean, me personally, I think like we live in a secular society. Like, you know, like yeah. But it was a private company, anyways, and they kind of tell you what it is. But I don't know, man. It is what it is. Trying to stay like neutral here. You know, I know you guys are tempting me on. I'd say crazy shit, but like I'm gonna stay neutral.
John, you know about the circles. You know about the circles I run in.
The who?
The what?
John knows about the circles I run in.
Oh yeah, we say controversial stuff all the time. Ray here. Okay, so he has a court pending, a court case right now pending, for his rights
And I
being
didn't even
violated.
Yeah, there's
And
people watching
also
this video right now.
he
I'm
goes
still
to a
like,
lefty university, and so these lefty universities they watch these videos and they like slyly comment on them. So he's paranoid right now that
So
his classmates gonna
the lefties hate Rays. So what I'm getting.
yeah, I mean, there's
yeah
people
they send the
nationwide.
cops after
There's,
him.
there's people in general.
If
There's
the
people in general
lefties
that have a
hate
hard on
you,
for me.
that means you're doing the right thing.
Yes.
They'll go through these videos with a fine comb, and it's like, I'm here being interviewed myself, so it's like, I speak for myself. I haven't said anything inflammatory here. You guys speak for yourself. As soon as you guys
I
say some
live in
crazy
America,
shit, like
so
I'm
I
out
don't
of here.
care.
What's that? No, I mean,
I live in
mean,
No, like
well, you're in America, man. There you go. You're Los Angeles, California, man. Like land of the free, land of free speech. First Amendment, whatever. You got the Constitution. You can say whatever you want, unless it's like what, death threats.
No, I mean I have to cover. I can't be too doxing, but yeah,
What's that? Yeah.
I
Look,
can't be too doxing, but yeah.
I get what you're saying. You don't have to tell me anything about yourself. I don't need to know. I don't care.
I love self doxing. Don't get me wrong, but I do it in the right measures.
Yeah. I
Mhm.
mean, look. I mean, I'm kind of taunting my opponents anyways. Coming in here, they're gonna see like they're gonna see a preview of this and be like, okay, you got this skinhead with no hair, and you got this guy with his rid of fact. They're ganging up on him or something. Like.
No,
I know they're gonna go through this
we're all
video.
getting along. We're all getting
yes,
along.
we're all getting
That's what they
along.
hate. See, that's what they hate. They
Having
hate the
an
fact
actual
that we're
dialogue.
all getting along.
We talk about flat Earth. This has been a very fruitful stream.
Yes.
That's it. That's what I'm trying to do, man. We're all human beings. We all want peace. We all have a time on this planet, come and go. It's like, bro, like, the best thing we can do is just get along, and that's it. Like if you want to live your
Yeah,
life,
but what if the people who you're trying to get along with, they want you to be destroyed?
Well, I can play that game too, so I'm playing that game right now, man. That's where the NoFap energy comes in play. That's
Yes.
you bring your energy to the table. I'll bring my energy to the table, and we'll go at it, and we'll see who lasts. And
You need to
thinking,
get a porn.
this is why I preach.
Ray,
Bro,
you need
this
to
is
get
why-
a porn
hear me out.
blocker like me.
Bro, this is why I preach like good energy, because I feel like if I gave the world the answer to living in, if I gave the world the answer to be able to live in a way where you can feel invincible and do whatever you want and just live in a great way, I think the majority of people will be like, wow, that's a gift. It's like, why am I thinking about Ray? I'll just go do my own thing. And maybe there are some people that are like, you know what, he gave me the gift and I already knew it, and I'm still gonna come and try to destroy him. So I don't know what to tell you, man.
You did actually earlier in the stream mentioned about why do you care? What I think it was we're talking about the F word, feminism, right? And you're like, why do we care about what people think, like how we look and how we act, right?
That's my
Why
point.
don't we just, you know what I mean? Yeah,
The greatest
So
thing
you
is
did
not
mention
giving a
that.
shit what anybody thinks about you. I mean, like I don't care who comes in here. I mean, like Netanyahu could come in here. And he's like, I don't like you. I want you dead. So okay, no problem, man. That's your opinion. Have a nice day. Like that's it. Like what do you want from me? Like you speak for yourself. I speak for myself. I don't speak for a community. I don't think Netanyahu speaks for a community. I think everybody. This is the one takeaway. I don't think anybody here speaks for a community. We all speak for ourselves. We all speak for our selfish interest. We all speak for our own, validations, and that's it. I mean,
by the way, John, are you gonna ask me what animal this hat is made out of?
I think I know what it is. It's the ox. It's the buffalo or the ox.
It's not from an ox.
No.
No.
Buffalo.
This particular hat was made,
Horse?
according to the person who sold it to me on eBay, at least. It's made out of red foxtails.
Oh.
Sounds expensive, man.
Yeah, I got this pre-owned on eBay for around $800.
It's pretty crazy, man. I mean,
A new one.
I care about animals, so I mean, like
a new one will cost me like $1,500.
I know, but I care about animals, man. Skinning fox is that's I can say that. Like I think it
This
should be made.
these foxes gave their lives to sanctify the name of Judaism.
Oh, it
Think
has to be
about
made of
that.
fox. It has to be made.
It made out of foxes who sacrificed their lives to sanctify the name of Judaism.
No, but like the traditional. What's that called?
It's called a strymel.
Okay, interesting. So it must be made
It's
of
like
a
for a hat.
fox. I see. It must be made of fox, or can it be?
It can be traditionally they're made out of foxes, minks, sobels, things like that. But technically, it could they can actually they actually make imitation fur ones that are much more affordable that look exactly like the real thing. It's not as nice, but there is that option. I actually tried to find an imitation fur one, not because I care about animals, but it's because I wanted to save money. But I couldn't find one online. Yeah, and these hats are expensive.
I care about animals, so I mean,
This hat, the money for this hat could have bought me 8 weeks worth of groceries.
yeah. I mean, I'm super frugal. It probably would have bought me like 3 months of groceries. You know, I don't know
What,
what to
do
tell
you
you,
water
man. I
down
mean,
your
like,
water or something?
what's that?
Do you water down your water?
Do I
Do
water
you
down
take
my
your
water?
bottled water and like when it gets low, you like take your
Man, I'm
tap
the kind of
water?
dude. I'll walk into a grocery store. They got like the reduced foods. It's like it's about to expire in like a week. It's not that actually. Like what do you care? Like, if the food's gonna expire in like 2 weeks, in a week, it'd be like half price. Whatever the case. What's that you
By the
smoking,
way,
man?
John, I want to do
Bro,
can we
what's
do a
that you're smoking?
thumbnail of me doing
What was
this?
that, man? You were smoking
Wait,
something there.
can
What
we-
was
Yes.
that?
Let's do that so I can post it on my Facebook and then more people will see it. I actually
I
got
like it.
one of my I posted that guy from the Cube Lewis. I posted the video that he posted where I was in the thumbnail of the video. I was really honored by that. But I don't think doing this is like disrespectful. Do you?
No,
Doing what?
no.
It's like a and actually it's very useful to for I won't go into why, but it's very helpful for me to show everyone me doing this. This is some rabbis say you shouldn't do this, but I'm here to confirm that it's okay to do this.
What is that?
Doing crossing your fingers. Some rabbis argue that according to Kabbalah you shouldn't cross your fingers, but it's fine. It's fine. Because there might be Jewish people. John Vance, do Jewish people ever watch your streams?
Yes.
Okay,
Wow. I've had that's
You're scaring me,
yes.
man. You can't talk in tongues, man. Just tell me what you say. Tell me what you're trying to tell me. Anyways, look, man. I'll talk to anybody, man. I don't care, man. Like I got nothing to hide.
Oh,
like,
dude, let me see if I can get another person on.
Okay.
Wait, I need.
You guys are really trying to make this controversial for me, eh?
Dude, I don't even know who you. Dude, I don't know you from Adam. Like, and the guy I'm gonna invite on doesn't know who you are either.
Bro, just bring on like almost.
I know a guy who's like such like an internet spurg. He was actually I found
no
out.
spurgy shit. No spurgy shit, man. I'm telling you.
No spurgy shit. No, I'm not gonna invite.
No spurgy shit, man. No, you seem.
He's
you
like
seem
he's a very intelligent spurg.
No,
he's
spurgy. I don't want to. I don't.
Okay,
I don't
okay,
want to
okay,
even
okay.
have that here, man. I was just like, I will.
Okay, no spurgs. Got it.
Yeah.
Let me see if one of my female friend will come on.
Okay.
Yeah, like as long as she's
Yes.
like well
My
ordered
female friends
and
and
We need a female perspective on no fap.
Oh, she might be willing to talk about that. She might
Okay.
be willing. We have to be very polite.
There you go, Ray.
Don't creep her out.
Okay.
No, I mean, like this is even like when I talk about no fap, it's more like it's like self help, man. Like I was saying before, if
I
there's
sent
one
her to
person
leave.
watching this
Okay.
that is like, wow, like this guy's energy is making me want to try it out and it helps him, then that's great. I'll talk. I like I said, it's not just no fap. It's drugs. It's alcohol. It's smoking. It's abusing caffeine. Even caffeine. I think caffeine's poison. It's
I
all
love
the,
caffeine.
I mean, I'm like.
Good
It's like a drug. It's a drug.
It is a
Good
drug,
on
yeah.
you for being anti-smoking and anti-vaping. Hashem smiles on you.
Yeah, that stuff is. I mean, vapes. You don't know what you're.
I'm hypocritical. I'm addicted to vaping. I
think vaping
It's
is
a very
like
big
some
problem.
vapes. Are
I
actually
hope
worse
I
than
hope
cigarettes.
when I get married, I marry the right woman who puts me in line and I quit this habit completely.
Well, just having kids in the room will help. It will make you quit the habit. You know, I mean, like that secondhand smoke is pretty bad.
Yeah,
But
the secondhand vaping is also bad. Just so in case no one was aware of that.
yeah, it's pretty bad. It's even worse than cigarettes in some ways. It's like it's pretty bad.
Why is vaping worse than cigarettes?
I just remember seeing
The
this like
carcinogens.
Yeah, I think there's stuff in there that just works. Like just regular tobacco compared to like some of these vapes. I think the vapes are made to like really like. It's
See, the thing is,
concentrated.
I switched from cigarettes to vapes because like I feel less like shit when I vape, but when I smoke cigarettes, I feel like complete shit. Like I want to vomit when now it's really bad. Now I can't. I cigarettes don't do anything for me anymore, so for that's good.
You ever try to like get on the patches? You ever try the patches?
I haven't tried the patches yet. I have a work colleague who's trying to get me into patches.
Yeah, apparently some like I mean I'm in Canada, so like they'll actually give you patches for free if you go to certain places and like I'm trying to quit smoking, they'll give it to you for free.
That's amazing.
Yeah, man.
I
The
need
United
that.
States, you guys need universal base. You guys need what do you call it? Like free like universal healthcare is what they call it. Yeah,
Yes.
you guys need that. It was bad. We're coming up to almost 2 hours here, man. I said an hour.
Yeah. So you got
The
to
editor's
speak with the Orthodox Jewish person. So
Famous eye
Bro,
Judas.
you don't think I've done it before, bro? I live in
Jewish
Montreal, man.
black
Like, there's a,
yes.
I live in Montreal. I've actually, I was always intrigued by the hat, so I never got a chance to like talk to some of the
Yeah,
guys.
the hat is called the Strymon. Do you want me to send you like an article so that you can read more about it?
Yeah, sure. I'm sure there's a Wikipedia article about it, but yeah.
Wait, hold on.
What does it
Hold on,
signify?
I got
Like,
a really good one.
What's the gist of that?
I'm just gonna send you the gist. It's just a fancy hat.
Interesting. Yeah. I see some Orthodox Jews. Palestine
Ray, I
protests go to.
posted something in the private chat for you. So just check that out.
Okay, interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, the custom in America is that these hats are only worn after Hasid has gotten married. But in Jerusalem, the custom is even bachelors wear these, at least among some communities. And I got this hat for Purim. The holiday Purim is coming out. This is the hat I wear on Purim.
Interesting.
Yeah. I only wear this hat on Purim. This is actually going to be the first year of me wearing this hat.
So you have a collection of hats.
Yeah, this is actually my 5th hat. Let me show you my hat.
It looks heavy. I mean, is it heavy?
It's kind of heavy, and also the hat size is adjustable. This is my weekday hat. This is my holiday hat. This is also a Hasidic hat. This is called a beaver hat. There's 2 kinds of beaver hats. There's one called a high beaver hat, and there's a low beaver hat. I don't know which one this is.
This is like style from like 100 years ago.
Yeah. These hats are
you
similar to the ones worn in America.
You ever wear a fedora?
This is pretty much a fedora.
I wear a fedora.
Fedoras are cool, man. I'll wear some of those in the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a colorful one. I have like a feather in it.
Yeah.
And this is
Do you get a lot of ladies like looking at you with the fedora? You find Ray?
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
Like sometimes if I leave my house and it's like I look at my hair and it kind of looks thin, I'll just be like, I'll wear the fedora today, you know. Well,
Yeah.
like the hair will look thinner like in the summer with the light, you know. So it's like.
Have you ever tried shaving your head?
I have. That's when I was wearing a fedora.
What do you think of my hats, JB?
They're very stylish.
Thank you.
You have a good sense of style.
Well, you can't go wrong with black and white. I mean, that's timeless colors, you know.
Yes. Yes.
You need to add in some gray. Gray is also stylish.
Yeah.
Timeless gray, navy blue. Like if you notice, all these like suits, like people in Parliament, they're always wearing this like, what's that color? It's like a sapphire blue for suits now. Yeah, that's what's in sapphire blue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, black and white was kind of in like during the '90s. Yeah,
I say like when Judas
I
puts on
get
sunglasses, he looks like the Men in Black with the
like
fedora.
I'm frugal as heck. I mean, like if you're always wearing black and white suits, I mean, like
I
you don't
don't
have,
wear black and white suits all the time. I wear colored suits during the week, and then on the Sabbath I wear these clothes out like this.
Yeah.
okay, interesting.
I generally only wear my fedoras at synagogue.
That's cool. Yeah, man. Learning about the wardrobe.
Oh,
Yes. Yeah. What's your thoughts on?
I like V-necks. I mean, I
Yeah,
got a whole like collection of V-necks in different colors.
V-necks.
Pay like less than $10 for each one of them. But there you go, man. You got the what is that? The
It's a menorah hat.
menorah hat. Wow. I guess back in the day, you probably had someone with actual candles, actual fire. I'm sure, like
You know about
100 years ago.
Hanukkah?
No, I'm saying like I'm sure that version of that hat, like 100 years ago, had fire.
Maybe
on it.
someone got very creative. I don't know.
Yeah, I saw this one.
Have invite Lewis on.
No, I don't. Listen, I'm about to leave anyways, and like I said, I don't want to. I don't want to taint this great stream
No.
with someone just going ape shit and saying something crazy. You know?
Let's do an after stream.
Yeah, after stream, like.
Yeah. We could do that.
Should I put on my white wizard outfit for the after stream?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna
I
change
would
it to
love
my
that.
white.
Yeah, just
Do
as
you want to
a,
do it
just
now
as
or
a-
do you?
Just as a
Yes.
note, like I'm not associated with the after stream, but
Yes. Yeah. So we're heading up on to 2 hours now. I think we got some different perspectives today, and a
yeah, I
very
mean, like I said,
enlightening and
if there was one takeaway from this, is whether you're religious, non-religious, just an intellectual, discipline goes a long way, And as an atheist, I mean, I take religion with a grain of salt. I'll take my cheese and avoid the trap. And I think there is, not to insult anybody who is religious here, I think there is a trap in religion. It's like, I think there is like, I wouldn't compare it to a gang, but I think there is like a code of silence, and there's like baggage, and there's just things like me personally as an individual. Maybe I'm too individualistic. That's what Western capitalist society does to you. You're just individualistic. But as an individual, I don't want to be associated with baggage, and that's the one thing I don't want to be associated. Like I'll look at things like I said, I just kind of go in circles here. But if one religion has something that's great, I'll take it, and I'll consider it, whatever. And I don't think it's contradictory. I'll take the finer points in Judaism and Catholicism, Christianity, Islam, pagan society, whatever the hell, And I think everybody has great things to say, and I think.
Do you believe in evolution?
Evolution? Do I believe in evolution? I always wondered. I always asked this question because I love dinosaurs, and I was always like, I mean, for the dinosaur freaks in here, I'm like, where does an Allosaurus start, and where does a Tyrannosaurus start, and where does a T-Rex? I don't think there was anything after T-Rex because T-Rex died. Like there wasn't anything after T-Rex because you got the meteorite. So, example, I don't know, a Stegosaurus. Where does a Stegosaurus start, and where does a Stegosaurus end? And like, where can you see the evolution? So, like, what is evolution? If there's evolution, there must be something between Stegosaurus and the other one. It's like there must be something between like the elephant and the mammoth. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I just like I've always thought about that. It's like you must have some hybrid that like existed, and is that when there's apparently like there are like Stegosaurus isn't the full word. There's like they have sub-Stegosauruses, But, yeah, it's complex. I mean, people believe the Bible and stuff. They say, it's like God created just a Stegosaurus, and there isn't anything else. There's no evolution, and that's it. That's his creation. So I don't know. What is the
I think it's more believable than evolution, honestly.
Creation?
No, yeah, creation is more believable than evolution.
Honestly, when you look at it
And
that
that the
way,
Earth is only 6,000 years old is actually probably more factual than
I agree.
yeah.
yeah, I mean,
The universe. No, not the Earth. The universe.
Universe, yes, the universe.
Oh,
Yeah,
sure, without a doubt.
yeah, I mean, like I was saying before, I definitely question the age and the distances that science has put out. I definitely question that. I also definitely question how many miles per gallon I could get on this engine. I mean, I think big oil is definitely, I'm sure they can give you some gasoline that can probably allow you to do much better on gas. Where was it going with that? What does the Torah say about dinosaurs?
I already answered that.
I don't recall.
Rabbi
yeah, he did answer it.
Did he? What was the
Miller
answer?
said dinosaurs existed at some point and they went extinct.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah.
He writes that in his commentary on the Book of Genesis,
Okay.
which is written. And by the way, pretty much all of Rabbi Miller's books were written in English.
And you think that the extinction was due to an asteroid, or do you think it was like divine force that?
There was some mass extinction event, probably the flood.
Okay, the flood.
Oh, there's definitely the documented floods. Yes.
They actually found Noah's Ark in Turkey, in Armenia.
And what do you think he kept on? So what do you think he allowed on
years.
the ark, and what do you think he not allowed on the ark?
Well, all the animals that were having gay sex were banned from the Ark.
Bro, you got. I'm telling you, man. Please.
That's what the. Okay, well,
I guess if you could,
I'm not making that up.
I guess if you could cite some verse just for the.
This is religious freedom.
Yeah,
I guess you have to cite a verse, man. You have to cite
Right.
It's an oral tradition I heard from my rabbi.
Okay, there you go. So
That's acceptable.
Okay. Okay, there you go. See, we can laugh here, but
It's not a joke. I'm being serious. That is an oral tradition I got from my rabbi.
I don't know, man. I guess the dinosaurs.
Okay, well, who's the Jew who goes to yeshiva? Me or you?
I guess the dinosaurs must have done some weird stuff to have just.
Yeah, the sin of the
dinosaurs. What was the sin of the dinosaurs?
Flood was sexual immorality, and the animals also corrupted their actions.
Well, I mean, fuck. If you got a brain the size of a peanut, I mean, you don't really keep count.
No, because what the people on Earth were doing.
I'm trying to make the audience laugh, Matt. Come on.
Well, that's because they are fools. Only fools laugh at this wisdom.
No, you're right. I mean, I wasn't trying to
This is the wisdom of the Holy Torah.
I just know Stegosaurus has a brain the size of a peanut. So I mean, what can you really expect out of something like that? It actually had two brains. It had the peanut brain, and it had a cluster that they say that the brain may have actually been in its hips. I mean, I know this stuff because I used to read these books, man. I mean, what did it actually give me? But yeah, I mean, some of these dinosaurs had no brains, really small brains. But yeah, man. So what do you think of Cro-Magnon and Neanderthal? Do you think they were just
No, we came from Adam. The story of Genesis is literal.
Okay, so I guess Noah didn't want those guys on the ark because they were just savages or something.
They were. Cro-Magnon is a myth.
Okay. So what do you think of these you think the skeletons are just
It could be just very ugly humans.
They could have been humans, what you're saying?
Yeah, they could be just very ugly humans.
Ugly humans. Okay, interesting. Okay,
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to have a debate between an anthropologist and someone who.
I'm gonna make a book recommendation. I'm just gonna make one book recommendation.
Yeah, no problem, man. You can put as many as you want in here. I mean,
hold on, I'm gonna actually give you 3 books because they're it's a 3-part series.
You must think I'm some unbeliever or that I'm.
Well, you sound like you're just ignorant. Most unbelievers are just very ignorant.
I mean, would you equate that to not having faith or just?
I just think it's not having enough knowledge
you just need knowledge.
And not humbling yourself.
Okay, I mean, what would you say to the anthropologists? What do you think their slant is? You think they're ignorant as well? Or?
I think they're very arrogant.
Arrogant.
They're full of themselves.
I mean, no. I mean, look, I'm not trying to be sarcastic there when I say science. I mean, like well, science was being used in the name of suppressing people's freedoms during the scamdemic. I mean, I don't know if I can say that here on YouTube. The
That's fine.
CDC, CD.
Ray, look in the private chat. I put 3 book recommendations from Amazon.com. I'm actually gonna, but you can actually save yourself a lot of time. And hold on, Torah and Science, Rabbi Mizrahi. I'm gonna send a video. This is a 4-hour Torah lecture. So I'm sorry it's so long. I guess you can watch it in, but it's cheaper than buying books and reading books.
I mean, I got a pretty good attention span. I mean, 4 hours isn't.
I just sent you a YouTube link for Rabbi Yosef Mizrahi's video, Torah and Science. We're going into proofs behind the Torah. Receive.
I mean, so do you believe in some ways in like divine intervention? Do you believe in miracles and ghosts and stuff like that?
And also, I'm going to send you a really great recommendation of a book called Permission to Receive by Rabbi Lawrence Kellerman. So I invite you to purchase these books and read them on your own time. And you should definitely watch Torah and Science by Rabbi Yosef Mizrahi.
No, I'll definitely have a look. I mean, like it's.
Thank you. I appreciate it a lot. If I would like to hear back if we could ever get in touch.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I'll talk to anybody and I'll listen to any perspective. It's not a. It's only going to challenge my own position. And
Ray, I put my email in my YouTube email in the private chat in case you want to keep in touch.
Let me actually just like copy all this. And okay, that's cool. I can actually copy it and put it in a note memo. Okay, let me just grab all this. Let me just grab it all before I forget.
Do you like my white wizard outfit, John Vance?
Yeah, you're missing a hood. No.
See, that's how you know he's a Fed man. You're missing the hood.
No, I'm just kidding. Sorry, Ray. I didn't mean
the
to.
The only people burning crosses today is the FBI, man. Like, you know that. It's the only people burning crosses.
It's fun. Come on.
Can I tell people about this outfit that I'm wearing? What it is in Michigan?
Yes.
So what I'm wearing is called a kittel. Kittels are actually not a Sephardic tradition. They're worn by Ashkenazic Jews after they get married, and only on certain holidays such as Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement. And but I actually decided to start wearing one not on any other day except for Purim. So right now I'm wearing my Purim outfit. The shtreimel and kittel makes my Sephardic Purim outfit. So I'm looking very forward to the holiday when I'm going to be the talk of. I'm going to be the life of the party. I just know it.
There you go, man.
Are you going to live stream it?
No, I'm not going to. And I never talk about my live streaming life with people in my community ever.
Oh, okay.
Well, I was going to ask you something like as someone religious, like this is something people would be curious on. Like, I guess maybe it'd be an ignorant question, but like, when you talk to someone who's religious, I mean, like, it's like I kind of have this in the back of my mind. It's like, you believe in God, so do you believe in miracles and spirits and ghosts? I mean, is that?
I believe in. Oh, dude, we should totally restream a exorcism. A rabbi doing an exorcism. I have a video of a rabbi doing an exorcism.
So you believe that? I mean, like you can.
Yeah, I
touch someone's head and
I can.
They'll puke
I for
black
sure.
ink
I for sure believe in dibbuks. You know what a dibbuk is?
Is it like speaking tongues?
No. Dibbuks are the disembodied souls of people who died, who can't move on to the next world. So they stay in this world and they haunt us and they take possession of people and they cause a lot of problems. They're not so common.
That's a very, yeah.
That's pretty scary, man. Like,
yeah, they definitely. I've read stories, documented stories of rabbis dealing with dibbuks, and it's very real, very legitimate, and very reliable.
Well, that's why I carry this around in my car, like in case someone.
Oh, that's not gonna protect you from. What's gonna protect you from them is no fap. No fap.
There you go. There.
No,
yeah. No, were you being serious about that, or?
No, I'm being totally
Yeah.
100%. I wouldn't joke about this. I would rather die than joke about this.
My brother's gonna see. He's gonna laugh. He's gonna be like, "Oh fuck!" Like that's some funny shit. No, that's cool. So why do you say that? Like a pure life? No, it's true.
Yeah,
I
these
used to.
demons, they're afraid of holy people. They're afraid of people who live their lives for Hashem and live their lives in holiness and purity. That's what scares them.
I don't want to sound like an asshole, but it's like I keep saying this. It's like like I live the pure life. I mean, it's also. I mean, I don't know how you guys feel about pride. Like, do you think the prideful person is gonna be burning in hell? I mean, is that how you
I
feel?
mean,
Like,
I don't know you personally, so I can't. I'm not following. Only Hashem can judge you.
okay, and who's Hashem?
Hashem is the appellation that Jewish people use to refer to the creator of the universe.
Interesting. So you believe in a creator?
Yes,
Okay.
a singular creator that everything comes from and who gives life to everything and wills everything into existence at all times.
Okay. Interesting. So spirits. I mean, that exorcism stuff actually like maybe that's interesting.
Hold on.
That's
I heard about this. It happens in jails too.
exorcism in jails.
Yeah.
That's
Ray.
So what do you think about? I was talking to some Christians.
Ray.
I asked them about like
Wait.
mental illness.
Before I posted in the private chat
Keep sending me
the
stuff,
video of the exorcism. It's about 20 minutes long though.
I'm
But
going
there's a part where like the guy starts screaming and riffing all over the place and gets on the floor and he's like,
I mean, do you
this
think
video's from 5 years ago.
you know? I mean, like I'm just asking these questions objectively. I mean, you don't think it was staged or? I mean,
I don't believe it was staged.
no. Okay. Just a question. I mean,
I don't believe
Have
it.
you,
people
Ray?
fake
Have you
things,
ever
I
seen
mean-
Christians speak in tongues before?
yeah, I did a class on that. It's called like Jesus, what was it? I took a class about religion and practice and like there's a basically say people are speaking tongues because God entered your body and you're saying things you don't understand. Something rather it was these snake handlers or something rather would do that. What do you think of snake handlers? I just had a class on that. I found it funny. Like people handling snakes because they feel that it's like a gamble. If the snake bites you and you die, God wants you dead, and if you survive, God wants you to live. So it's like you're saying like I don't know. I kind of find that
Not
stupid.
really the purpose of speaking tongues, but like
No, not
speaking
speaking in tongues.
tongues
It's
is
like holding the snake. Like these guys actually handle venomous snakes, and they'll dance and stuff with the snakes. Like we're talking like dudes in the Appalachians and stuff. I don't know. I don't
Okay.
even know where I was going with that, but I don't know, man.
Snake charmers?
Snake handlers. Look into that. It's a thing. It's actually it's illegal across the United States, except in Pennsylvania. Yeah, interesting stuff. But exorcism. I'm just kind of intrigued by that. I'm intrigued by like ghosts. I don't want to see a ghost. I mean, there's sometimes like I'll wake up in the middle of the night and I got like night terrors. I mean, do you think like someone's possessing me? Like you think someone's somewhere trying to fuck with me, and that's why I'm waking up, like thinking someone's outside my door or something, or outside my, What do you think of that? Or do you think it's just like a? Also, what do you think of mental illness? Like I remember talking to a Christian.
Mental illness is actually a result of sexual sin.
Okay, interesting. Okay, that makes sense.
Doing no FAP will improve someone's emotional and mental well-being.
No, it is true. I believe that 100% because like I vaguely remember myself, my old self. We're talking like fucking like a decade ago, like my old self in regards to NoFap. So it's like, yeah, back then when I was a teenager, it's like I'd be scared to go in my basement or something, Where now it's like I'll sleep there like, if it's noisy outside or something and I don't know, it's really early and the birds are outside chirping, I'll go in the basement and just like lay on the couch with
This is the scissors I trim my beard with.
Yeah, it looks like something you use in the kitchen to like trim the fat off a steak or something. That's a vicious pair of scissors.
Yeah, I know. I want it.
You know, you small. I got small one. I got a really cool barber. Here, where is it?
Did your McDonald's go cold?
I got this. This is what I used to
Yeah,
trim.
it did.
No, I've already eaten my McDonald's.
Nice.
Yeah. Think I'm running out of energy. I need some food. No, I got this.
Makes you more tired.
What's that?
Food makes you more tired.
It does. As you get older, though, I notice that. Like, but a huge meal, like I'll feel sleepy. But possessions. That's something. Like you've seen that. Okay. You believe in miracles? I mean, say if you.
Yeah, miracles are real.
Yeah.
Everything's a miracle. If you don't believe in miracles, you're not a Jew.
You don't believe in faith, like just like your own created faith, like you
What?
you create your own destiny. No.
No. What? You mean free will? Yeah, we have free will, but Hashem knows the future. You shouldn't get lost in philosophies, bro.
I intellectualize things too much, man.
People who get lost in these philosophies, they don't go to a good place.
They burn in hell.
Yeah, they go to hell.
Do you believe that? You believe in hell and heaven, that
Yes.
sort of thing, or is it?
I believe in hell.
Okay, same concepts of Christianity. What do you think of Christians? Like, is
They're
there?
going to hell for being idolaters.
Okay, interesting. What do you think of Muslims?
They are going to hell for being heretics.
Okay, so what do you think of someone like me who's an atheist? I'm
You're
going to hell
going to
too,
hell
right?
for being an atheist.
That's crazy. See, we can all get along. You want? I mean, you're saying I'm going to hell. I mean,
If
I
you
got-
felt now that you told me that you're an atheist, like now that I know about that about you, if you were to fall into a pit, I wouldn't necessarily help you. That's how. So don't get confused. Don't like start thinking that like Judas is your buddy, even though you're an atheist. Judas will let you die if you're an atheist.
so what would you like?
Judas will only save your life just so Jews don't look bad. That's why Judas sounds
thing
similar to Jews. Have you ever noticed that?
That's the thing with like holy people. Like they'll do things for their doctrine. When they do things for their fellow man, it's for their own doctrine. It's for their own salvation. Yes, it'll benefit you, but it's for their own salvation.
How about just doing something for?
It's not just oh, because we're all humans, we're kumbaya, hold hands. It's different.
Like one of these things, like like one time I was at a family member's.
Well, hear me out, bro. You wouldn't throw change in some homeless person's like container or something. Like you wouldn't throw. You'd be like,
What was that one thing have to do with the other?
so you want to help your fellow man? You know, like you're saying. Like,
What does not helping an atheist have to do with not quote unquote helping my fellow man? If anything, allowing an atheist to die is helping my fellow man because atheists have no morals and their ideas are so stupid and so crazy that they are actually a threat to society. So by me allowing the atheist to die, I'm actually assisting a society, not hurting. I'm actually helping my fellow man.
So what would you like me to be like? Can I convert to Judaism?
Judaism does not believe in proselytization. I suggest looking into the 7 Noahide laws.
So what do you think? What saves me?
Hold on.
I'm
Hold
just
on.
like asking these questions
Hold on.
objectively. I mean, like,
Yeah, so like basically like
bro, I don't want to die, man. You know?
Hold on.
since yeah, so like Ray, you kind of use that like you kind of intertwine between like agnostic and atheism, and I think there is a big difference between the two. Because at least if you're agnostic, you believe in a higher power and you believe in some sort of higher standards. But if you're an atheist, it's basically like you're nothing. You're a material being in this universe who believes in evolution and only
Ray,
believes in these secular moral values that doesn't really have discipline. So I think when you say atheists,
I'm copying
atheists are
this
not
stuff, okay.
disciplined, right? So
So I will look into this stuff.
yeah,
Ray,
you have to be careful what you say, Ray, because I know you like to talk a lot, but like when you use that term atheist, it's a lot different than when you call yourself agnostic.
So what?
Ray, I answered to answer your question. I posted 2 links to Chabad.org so you can learn more about the Noahide law. Okay.
That's interesting. I mean, you can't give me an answer like a generalized, quick
No,
answer.
read about the Noahide law. Learn about the
I mean, we're
Noahide law.
streaming here, man. Come on, make this
No,
entertaining.
I'm not. No, I just learn about the Noahide law. You don't know about the
7
Noahide law?
Noahide laws.
Please
I'll
tell
post
me
in
the
the
Noahide
public
law.
chat.
No, thank you.
I vaguely heard about it. I mean,
The Noahide law is 7 laws of basic human morality that were given to God by that were given to Moses by God, and they're the laws that all human beings must follow, and they are the primary responsibility of Gentiles to observe the Noahide law. Thank you for highlighting that, J.V. Vance.
so you said Gentiles. I mean, like, do you think do you think we're equal or no or
No, you're not equal to me.
just like that, eh?
Jews are superior to Goyams.
Okay, that's good to know, man. I'm just like, you know,
Look
what
at my
I'm saying?
unibrow. That's how you know I think I'm superior. If I didn't think I was superior, don't you think I would prune my I would prune my unibrow? No, I think I'm superior. I don't think Gentiles are superior.
So what if I
You're-
think what if I think I'm superior than everybody around me? What do you think of that?
You're Meshuga.
What does that mean?
You're crazy. You ain't shit.
Whatever. What I mean, we all go to bed. Whatever. What's the expression?
I want to talk to Louis Wayne. Did he leave?
Oh,
Whatever
is he on here?
takes-
Oh,
I think
No,
left.
I don't want to see anything
It was
crazy.
boring.
But, I'm just saying, like, you know,
This young man is boring.
I'm just saying, like, whatever makes you sleep better at night. I mean, like, what if I just say that to you? I mean, you're like,
It has nothing to do with helping me sleep at night. It's just like I just live with the truth. I love how you like get all like you go on the defense of whatever helps you sleep at night, as if as if my self esteem, like I need my self esteem to like. I'm not exactly sure how to put it, but this like
so, like, you're saying, like,
he's trying to guilt you for your conviction.
convictions.
No, but that's
yeah,
the thing, man.
too.
There's people that have existed in there are people that have existed in history, like Donald Trump, where he's like, this is an example. I don't think too highly of Donald Trump, but we'll take Donald Trump we'll take the medieval prince. I mean, the medieval king. What would you say to the medieval king that's saying, like, I'm the king, and you know, because you saw that in Europe, you know, where the king's like,
I believe in the divine right of kings.
you don't.
I believe in the divine right of kings.
So what if the king was like, you know, I'm an atheist, you know, you worship me, or, you know, you take death. I mean, like, would you take death over worshiping him?
Well, Pharaoh and the Roman Caesars were also felt that way about themselves too.
Well, how do you feel
Oh
about
yeah,
people
they all
like that?
worship. Yeah,
Jesus was actually a metaphor for Julius Caesar.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure some people are gonna hate me for saying this. I mean, some people actually, I don't believe it, but I think it's believable. They say that the Bible was written as Roman propaganda. What do you think of that? No?
The Bible was written as Roman propaganda.
That there's a lot of Roman propaganda behind the Bible. No.
You mean the New
Christianity
Testament?
was proselytized.
You're talking about that Joseph Atwell's book guy.
Someone said that. I mean, maybe that's the one.
Roman Caesar, like Jesus.
Yeah, because what is it? Caesar adopted
Caesar's Messiah.
Christianity, and therefore the people looked at Julius Caesar as a prophet or a Messiah, and so that's how Christianity spread. Basically,
I believe in that.
You believe in that?
I believe, but that has nothing to do with Judaism. You're one of these. See, Ray. You sound like a very ignorant person. You sound like a person who has never like actually took the time to learn about Judaism.
Well, I mean, like, I mean.
Am I right or am I wrong? Tell me if I'm right or wrong.
Ray, I think it would probably help you if you learn a little bit more about Judaism, especially what you're.
Especially when you're always talking shit about Israel.
Yeah.
Allegedly, I don't even know you. I honestly don't even know who you are. And after this stream is over, I'm going to forget this conversation ever happened. Like I do with all my other streams.
Yeah, I do too. I just put stuff out there. I might pontificate on what I say, but I don't even watch my own streams. Honestly, like
I
I'm
love.
kind of I'm self conscious, but at the same time, I'm just like
Well,
it's
I
out
don't need
there
to
in the
be
universe. It's
so-called.
only for my own
I
like
haven't said
When
anything.
I'm-
I haven't said anything.
yeah.
I listen to my
inflammatory.
restreams when I'm on other people's channel. I find
Listen,
it very
hear me out.
therapeutic listening to
I-
myself on other people's
Listen,
channels.
I have said
Yeah.
this before. I mean, I make a
Mhm.
distinction between when I say Israel, we're talking about Israel's leaders. Because when you say like Israel decided to do this, we're not talking about like some guy farming or whatever, you know. Talk about the leaders of Israel. So I mean, and you admitted too yourself in the stream, the leaders of Israel are pretty evil. So that's what I'm talking about.
No, I didn't
So-
say they were pretty evil. I said that they're very evil.
Exactly. So why would you care if I'm talking shit about evil leaders? But my point is, so so you don't like Julius Caesar? What do you think he went? He's gonna burn
No, I
down-
love Julius Caesar. I just hate Jesus. But don't get me. I love Julius Caesar. I think he's the shit. He's the goat. Julius
that?
Caesar was the goat.
Interesting. So like how, what kind of reception do you get from people when you're like, you know, when people ask you like, you know, when you tell them like, you kind of told me that. I mean, I take this stuff with a grain of salt. You're like, yeah, I'm superior than you because I was, you know,
People
born.
don't usually ask me that question point blank.
I'm mildly autistic, so I got no filters when it comes to some of these things, man.
It makes for
So-
good clips.
Yes. I want this to be clipped. I haven't been clipped in anything yet. I've been on these streams since like 2018. No one's clipped me yet. No one's put me in an intro. Nothing. I've been in a couple of memes. That's it.
I'm getting nervous, man. It's like I'm
Yeah.
just kind of like thinking back. What did I say? You know, did I say anything?
No, man, no, you're good. You're good. So I just think that
What is that? Is that
That's
caffeine? It's caffeine, man. You're yeah, 44 milligrams of caffeine. You know, back in the 80s, they had caffeineless Coca-Cola. I got to find where they sell that today. But no,
they
I
use
mean,
it as
look,
bug wash.
I mean, would you if you walked into like a. Anyways, man, I didn't want to get too like controversial. It's not controversial, but it's interesting. You kind of open a door with that, you know. So what makes you more superior than me?
The Torah says the Jews are superior to Goyams.
Interesting. Okay. I mean, well, you gotta he removed the clip there. You know.
No, I realized that this was going to be clipped, so I want to be on.
Yeah, and it's fine. It is what it is.
I don't want to get my porn jacket stained.
Right.
$60 to come racist.
I'm not racist, man.
I didn't say you were racist. I said it's $60 to replace this jacket.
Use a straw. But where was it going with this? So
Ray. I think you need to wrap it up here because I think sometimes you talk a lot,
yeah.
and sometimes some people might construe some things in the wrong way. So the longer you're out here, right? Same thing with everybody. Like the longer you're out here, you know, the more likely you might, you know, run into error, right? So potential errors. So I think we should probably wrap this up, and then
Aaron, what I'm
maybe
saying,
I could do like a after stream with Judas, and you can join if you like, but I just don't want you to like.
Look, you're good with questions, so why don't you ask a question and engage us? Engage us.
Engage you? Okay. What do you know about Judaism?
It's a religion like any other religion, man. I mean,
Mhm.
I'm an atheist, and it's just.
Why do you call yourself an atheist though?
I don't know if I'd really like, you know, between atheism and agnosticism, I don't know if I would actually say like I believe in. You know, it's like I don't know. I mean, what's wrong with not believing anything exists? Like, just not a hedonist, but like, you know, just.
But how do you get morality? How would you get morality?
I would get morality from just. I mean, what it comes out of what's healthy. So I mean, like, if you're going to, it's also mutual. So it's like I'm not going to hurt someone else because I wouldn't want to get hurt, and getting hurt makes me feel bad, and hurting someone else would, I mean, I'm not a sociopath, so hurting someone else. I think you can. I mean, I'm a little tired, so I think you can create a, what do you call it? A set of morals without religion, But that's just me. How do you get religion? I mean, how do you get morals? What would you say to that?
It'd have to be from a higher source.
Would it?
Because then it's just like, well, who are you to say, right? And then basically we go on this endless.
I'm Julius Caesar.
Well, I'm from the Ottoman Empire. I'm Genghis Khan. So let's battle it out.
And I'm Judas Fly Chai, based pretty Michelin guy.
Julius
There
Caesar,
you go.
No, I mean there.
But like
it would be.
You have to because there has to be a neutral party, because if you don't have a neutral party, like I view God as kind of a neutral. I don't really believe in the kind of the burning bush, jealous God, Yahweh.
You have laws that sustain society where it's just like it's a selfish. You don't steal from me, and I don't steal from you. I'm not gonna hurt you.
Right, and then like people are gonna say, well, what's your authority, right?
Well, it's mutual. It's kind of like,
yeah.
I'm studying this political stuff. It's like the Leviathan or whatever, or whatever hell. You got just people coming together, and they're like, okay, we're gonna start society, and these are the rules we've established for this society. We all have obligations to, driving a speed on the highway, paying your taxes, this and that, equal laws for everybody. Like,
yeah, but taxes is illegal if a country is committing war crimes and genocide. It's your duty not to pay taxes, according to the UN Convention of the Nuremberg trials. Yes.
Well, that makes sense.
It's your duty. Yeah, this idea of death, taxes, or whatever. Death, yes, death is guaranteed. Taxes, I don't know. Let's see that is programming.
I'm play devil's advocate here. I mean,
yeah, that in itself, taxes is basically used to fund a central bank to keep its credit score up, so it can loan even more money, and fund even more erroneous wars. Taxes really is there to pay off the interest. It's not really there to build roads. It's just to sustain a central bank, which funds municipal and provincial governments to have. Why is there two? Oh,
if we're all living in a commune, say like all three of us are in some society, we all, have this. Say like all three of us are on an island, and we form government A. We all take turns cleaning the island, putting our resources to the island, putting our equal time to making huts, and you don't steal my coconuts, I don't steal yours, or whatever. So it's kind of like that. So I guess taxes would be fair if everybody paid an equal amount or an equal ratio or equal whatever, So that's how I see taxes. I'm just trying to your friend doesn't like my philosophy and my.
Oh yeah, atheism is very offensive.
Over intellectual.
It's not me. God doesn't like your philosophy.
I guess I guess I'm gonna be burning in hell then. But
God hates you.
Well, I
yeah,
guess
I know, Ray. I know, Ray. You have conviction. I just think that you need to be
for living like Julius Caesar in my own mind. In my own
what if I were you, Ray? Keep reading the Bible and keep pontificating upon it, because obviously that you are on a good path. so I don't really want to.
Please avoid the trap. I mean, I'm sure people hate me. For
No. I'm not saying go join a church or anything, or join a team, or join a mosque or something like that. Just I think when you call yourself an atheist, that's when you get into trouble.
It's cringe.
Trouble
yeah.
with who?
With the people of conviction. Yeah. I would definitely be careful with that, because you probably offend a lot of every religious person you would offend. You keep calling yourself an atheist.
No, and the reason why I'm offended by it is because you say it with so much arrogance.
Yeah.
Or so much confidence.
No, arrogance. The word is arrogance.
Okay. No, I mean,
when I was in middle school, I also went through my my atheist fedora phase, and boy, that I cringe when I look back at myself on my outlook back then. Cringe.
I mean,
we're not saying you have to join a religion. We're just saying that atheism is not the way to go.
Peer pressure.
Very ugly women in atheism.
Well, here's another subject for this: women in atheism. What do you guys have to say about that?
They have ugly souls.
Yeah, they're pretty equal. Yeah.
Ugly souls.
There's ancient writing, like, there's like a devil, or a picture of a devil trying to get out, and then a lady lifting up her skirt trying to tempt the devil. So there's actually drawings, ancient drawings.
Well, you have to send that to me.
Yeah.
Can you send it to me?
Yeah, I saw it on a video, so I'll have to get to it. But yeah, so yeah, it's a Gone with John YouTube channel. Shit. But anyway, he just did one. Yeah, I'll have to look at it. I'll send you the YouTube video.
We were talking about.
Yo, I'm dropping my email in the chat.
Okay.
Yeah.
John, this is my email. Wait, hold on.
I'll email it to you.
60. Oh, then I'll have your email. Then
I think you do have. Well, here's my email. I did take you did put your email in before, but
I know. I'm just making sure that. Yeah.
I actually copied. Yeah, I copied everything you sent me there, so I will look into that. It is interesting.
Yeah, please look into this stuff, and I would like for you to, if you want, you can let me know how you feel, and we could keep talking, Ray. I'm totally open to talking to you. I know I was taking some shots on you, but
you see me,
I'm
man.
a nice
I'm pretty
Are you an
proud.
Arab?
Excuse me?
Are you Arab?
I'm not. I'm actually from what's the word? What's the I'm from India. Yeah.
Oh, you're Indian.
East Indian.
Jai Hind.
Jai Hind, yeah, man, Jai Hind,
I would go to India,
Gandhi
but
versus the.
I don't like vacationing, because vacationing, like, I keep kosher, so like part of the fun of going on vacation.
I don't think you'll find anything kosher in India, man.
Yeah. I bet not even the rocks are there are kosher even, but part of the fun of going on vacation is trying all the different foods that you normally wouldn't be able to try at home.
I took a hit in India. I mean, things are changing in India.
Kosher, like if like someone's like considering conversion to Judaism, but like if you don't like limiting your diet, then conversion isn't for you.
Oh, there is a Jewish community in India. I mean,
yes, I'm aware of that.
I mean,
there's this like reform rabbi who likes to say he's Orthodox, who like has a community of people he's converting in Judaism. Like he advocates for like people. This isn't correct, but he says people like should be encouraged to convert to Judaism. But he went to India a couple times, like a few years ago, and like he converted. He did his bogus like conversion. That's like his Orthodox style bogus conversion on them. He made like videos about them videos of streaming of them celebrating and stuff. It looked like a lot of fun though.
Interesting. I mean, look. I mean, so what do you think of space? Like, what do you think of aliens? Like, as crazy as it sounds.
This is what I talked about on the stream on the Cube. It's possible
if a extraterrestrial being came down. I mean, I mean, do you think it's even possible? Do you think that
It
person
could
is?
be. It's more
think it's a
likely that
demon?
it's more likely it's an interdimensional being that has taken on a physical form. Because interdimensional beings, also known as demons, are able to take on any form that they want. So if they want to come as a Martian or a Reptoid, or as a Saiyan, or example, if you know about Dragon Ball Z, they can do
Dragon Ball
that.
Z.
But even if you want to say that there actually are aliens and they're extraterrestrials and not extra dimensional, they at the very least are not in the category. They do not have free will. So everything they do is controlled by Hashem.
Okay. So like, okay, that's interesting. Okay.
So aliens don't have free will. Only humans on Earth have free will. If there were to be aliens on other planets who are totally identical to humans, those people on those so-called humans who are actually aliens are not beings who have free will, but most likely there's probably aren't aliens who look like us. If they look like us, then they probably look very bizarre in comparison, such as maybe they have two heads, for example.
That's interesting. Look, I'm tired. I gotta apologize.
Yeah, you have to go sleep. You have to
Yeah,
curfew.
I'll probably look at this stream like tomorrow. It
Yeah.
peaked halfway and then just got sloppy halfway after. At least with me. I appreciate talking to you. I respect all positions. I mean, like
I don't,
no, I mean,
because I don't live in a communist shithole like you guys.
okay, well, you guys have good freedom of
Facts.
speech in this case. So there you go. Look, I mean, so you don't agree with agreeing to disagree, that sort of thing, no?
I mean, I don't. People have a different opinion, different belief, and the world goes on.
That's it. I mean, it is what it is. I mean,
All right. So with that,
when it comes to I mean, with me, when it comes to like
okay.
firm positions like religion, I need to see something tangible. I mean, I'll just say like if I was to, I need to see like a miracle in front of me. I need to see like something tangible. I need to see that.
Yeah, then you have to definitely for sure stay on NoFap, and you need to get a porn blocker. Hold
Bro,
on,
I
tag.
don't. Bro, I'm 100%. I don't watch porn, man. Like I don't.
I know, but you need to get a porn blocker. No. Hold on. Just this last link. Just look into tag.org. That's other than this tag.org and Torah and science are the most important things I send you. Everything else can go out the window. Torah and science and tag.org. But if you're not, but tag.org is very, very important.
What is that?
It's the foundation of everything.
No
NoFap is the foundation of all good things.
Better not be porn site, you know. But
It's not a porn site. I don't even have access to porn. Come meet me IRL, and I'll show you my laptop, and you'll see that you can't get porn on my laptop. I have tag. I have a porn blocker.
No, but I don't see like why you said that. I mean, like I'm serious. Like
I didn't say
I'm on point with my shit.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Everyone needs to have a porn blocker. It doesn't matter who even if you're a woman.
You are right though. I mean, sometimes when you're trying to watch free movies, you'll get like like something like.
So Tag they have a feature. You can actually call their hotline, and you give them your Tag ID number. You get a Tag ID that's associated with your account. You just tell them your information, and they can guess. Like I have access. For example, I have access to like Netflix and